and Salk Show, Seattle Sports here on 710, seattlesports.com. Seattle Sports app and podcast platforms, and of course 97.3 HD2 and YouTube. The app is just so important, continues to be. If you want to leave us messages for Here's the Thing, we have that coming up today at 8 o'clock. You can do that through the app. You can listen to the show. You can watch the show. You can get everything on demand. Like, it's just the easiest way to interact with the show and the station. So download the Seattle Sports app today, and you'll be good to go from there. I'm going to get you. I got this I have this list that someone sent me this morning that's kind of blowing me away. So, Lyle Moore, this was texted to us. Don't click on it because I want to quiz you on it in a few minutes. So don't click on the link that was sent to us late last night, or maybe it was early this morning, because I'm gonna quiz you on it in just a moment. I will admit I had kind of an odd night of sleep. No good deed goes unpunished, or maybe no bad deed. I don't know how to describe this. So the story starts with the fact that we are dog sitting the end of this week and through this weekend for Gertie's friend Nala, another French bulldog. She's an older lady, an older French bulldog, and they love each other. In fact, Nala, before we got Gertie, after Wendell died, Nala, I ran into Nala and her person, one of her people, walking around our neighborhood, and I was like, hey. And I stalked them and assaulted them and was like, hey, can I watch your dog for free? And they were like, yeah, all right. Well, it's kind of weird, but sure. So, she took my number, and then she texted me, and I got to watch Nala, and eventually we ended up getting another Frenchie. Anyway, so we love Nala, and she's been great. She taught Gertie how to walk downstairs when she was a puppy, and it's great to have her over. Unfortunately, Gertie doesn't treat her very well. She's very jealous. So if anybody pets Nala anywhere in the house, Gertie comes flying over like a cannonball and wedges herself between you. It's really obnoxious, and she's a real brat, but what are you going to do? Anyway, so Nala's at our house, and she's getting older. She's an older lady, as I said. So last night, I'm sitting around, and there was this show that I really wanted to go see. This is one of the great things about living in the city. I know people like to torch living in the city, but one of the great things about it is if you want to go to a show late, you can just kind of make that decision, because the Neptune, in this case, is just a few blocks away from me. So it's nice and easy to go there. So I really wanted to see Khruangbin. If you don't know Khruangbin, they're awesome. You should know them. They're like the coolest, chillest bands. There's a little Khruangbin for you. This dude, it's just a trio. And this guy just absolutely wails on guitar for 2 straight hours. Unbelievable. It's like sort of a surf sound, a little bit of like a Thai rock sound. I don't know. There's a little 70s to it, some 90s. I don't know. It's a mix of a lot of things. I guess some people would put it in the jam category. I don't think I would, but maybe some people would. Anyway, so these tickets.
all genres that I have no idea.
All right, so these tickets were $450. It was sold out. They were $450 tickets, like they're freaking Taylor Swift. I'm like, all right, I'm not obviously going to do that. So I was waiting and waiting and waiting and hoping that prices would come down. And all day yesterday, they were at like $250 and then $200 and then like $150. And I was like, all right, if they go under $100, maybe I'll do it if it's not too late. And then all of a sudden, they just dropped to like $50. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I kind of have to do it. So I grabbed a ticket. First time I've ever gone to a show by myself. And it was totally worth it, totally chill, kind of sat in the back or stood in the back, and it was awesome. They were great. Loved the show. Got out, I don't know, a little after 11, which is obviously later than I would normally go to bed, but it was worth it to go see a show. So I figured I'd apologize to all of you for being a little tired today. So anyway, this is going to come back around because I go back home. I quickly want to get into bed. I do the Heather's in bed. Now, Nala's in bed with Heather. Gertie's been banished, I guess, to some crate because she obviously couldn't, handle being in the bed with Nala. God forbid somebody maybe try to pet her or something. And I lay down in bed, and it's sopping wet. Sopping wet. And at first I thought it was cold. Like, oh, okay, maybe the door was open, so it's just cold in our bed. No. Nala's peed on my side of the bed. Oh, you laugh. It was not funny in the moment. I was like, ew. Oh my God. I'm lying in dog piss. This is so awful. So I get up. I was able to keep my composure, but the problem is it's now like 11:30. Like, normally try to get into bed by 9:30. So it's like 2 hours after when I normally get into bed. And I'm literally covered in dog pee. It was horrendous. So disgusting. So thankfully, Heather, because she was there whenever the peeing took place, I think she felt a little responsible. Of course, the dog wouldn't have peed on her side. She had to pee on my side. So I had to take a shower. Obviously, I wasn't getting back into bed after touching dog pee. So I took a shower, and Heather was nice enough, and she kind of dealt with the sheets and put down some towels and then more sheets and stuff. And I think ultimately I'm okay, but I was traumatized, and it took me a while to fall asleep after that. So if I don't feel or seem like myself today, I will give you the early apology. It was a great night. It was worth being dog peed on in order to see Khruangbin. They were awesome. That's how good they were. That's how much I love live music. And if it wasn't at the Neptune, I might not have done it, but the Neptune is just so unbelievably cool. Such a great venue. If you ever get a chance to go see a show there, take it. All right, so that's my personal story for the day. Here's the thing that was sent to us. Now, you guys didn't click on this, right? NFL lockdown report. Did you see this? This is from Pro Football Focus. So again, you take it as with a grain of salt. Take it for whatever it's worth. But this is the NFL lockdown report. This is the best defenders at preventing separation and coverage. Okay? So essentially, which defensive players are doing the best job in one-on-one lockdown coverage? Make sense? Who do you think is number one on that list? I'll tell you, he is a corner. Who is number one on this list, the best lockdown defender this year, according to Pro Football Focus?
I would say Patrick Surtain.
It is not. In fact, I don't see him on the top here, but this guy is definitely considered to be one of the great corners in the game. Sauce Gardner, number one so far this year with a 73, nearly 74% lockdown percentage. Incredible, right? Sauce Gardner still playing at an elite level. Who do you think is number two on this list? No, it's not Patrick Surtain. It's Reek Woolen. Reek Woolen is number two on this list. 100 lockdown opportunities, 65 lockdowns. 65%. He's number two on this list for the year. Number three is a former Mike McDonald player, not a corner, but he plays some corner. He's a hybrid. That's Kyle Hamilton. Number three on this list. Here's where it gets interesting. And again, I think the fact that Reek is number two on this list is fascinating, but who do you think is number four in all of the NFL in lockdown percentage?
Josh Jobe.
Josh.
I've seen him make some other lists.
Josh Jobe. How about Reek Woolen and Josh Jobe, numbers 2 and 4 in the league in locking people down? Jobe at just over 60, almost 61%. And then it goes from there. I'll just give you some of the other names. Michael Carter, Trent McDuffie, Deontay Banks, Joey Porter Jr., Rock Ya-Sin, Marshawn Lattimore. So like a lot of really familiar names. It's not like this is a crazy list. Rasul Douglas, who I think we've talked about at some point. Some safeties get on there. They don't have as many opportunities, but Brian Branch and Malachi Moore. Remember we talked about him a few years ago. 21, Devin Witherspoon. Number 21 on this list. So the Seahawks have number 2, 4, and 21 on the list of lockdown corners this year. Now, I don't know how they factor in how long they've got to cover. Certainly what we've seen from, the guys up front and Leonard Williams and those guys on the edge and their ability to get after the quarterback and push the pocket and create third and longs. All of those things end up factoring into this, which is why you never just look at one grade in Pro Football Focus and say, okay, that's it. That's the thing. But that's pretty incredible. That really is pretty incredible. And Josh Jobe, I just love that guy. I was so glad to have him back.
He's great. I was going to say the problem with Reek is that the other, however, what was the percentage of the time he's getting penalties?
There is that element. Right. Yes, that's
He's either locking you down or getting a penalty.
That's probably true. That's a good point.
He has been much better in recent weeks.
I mean, he's been really good, I thought, over the last few weeks. And
Agreed.
then add Jobe in there and man, that is that's pretty incredible. That's pretty incredible to see those two guys. This defense is so special. I am concerned for the Tennessee Titans what this defense should do to the Titans, because that could be that could be a lot. All right, 360 says, how high was Salk listening to that? I was not. That's not my deal, man. There was certainly enough of that around. As the show started, the waft was pretty intense.
What was that? What was that band you had me roll in? The other one that, I think you called it like psychedelic garage rock.
Was that
when I was rolling in that video?
King
I felt
Gizzard
like
and
I
the
was
Lizard
on drugs.
Wizard?
Yes.
Yeah.
So some of the stuff you listen to, I'm not surprised people ask you those questions.
No, I know. There's a lot of people doing drugs at these shows. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm fully aware that many of the people at psych rock shows are there for psychedelic purposes. I just like the music. I am not a drug person at all. Not even a little. Anybody who knows me could tell you that. I am not a drug person. I said many times, I feel just great with alcohol. Alcohol is good. I know how much, I know what one drink is going to do. I know what 2 drinks is going to do. I know what, I've got a pretty good sense of that, and I love the taste. I'm not a drug person, even a weed person. So that's not me. But no judgment, and certainly there were a lot of people there that were that was why they had come to see Krongben last night. All right, let's take a little break. We'll come back. We'll give you guys everything you need to know. We did get some pretty interesting updates from Mike McDonald yesterday, and then Joel Klatt was like spitting hot fire, man. I got a ton to react to, but we're going to play his interview coming up in 20. Be a fun morning. Buster Olney at 7:30 today, and Daryl Moose Johnston at 8:30 today. So all of that coming up this morning on Brock and Salk.
After hitting a flat note in L.A.,
Sam looking, dumps a pass, it's intercepted. That's number 4.
the Seahawks head down yonder to Nashville, looking to get that twang back.
As a team, I think we're in good shape. One loss doesn't define us.
Rocking and rolling their way to another win.
You know, it's about us, how we can get better as a team.
When we do it right, it's all within our wheelhouse.
Seahawks, Titans, Sunday, kickoff at 10 a.m., pregame at 7. Giddy up.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Black Friday comfort sale is on now at Home Comfort Alliance. Save up to 75% on furnaces, ACs, heat pumps, EV chargers, generators, and more. And take 18 months to pay with 0% financing. Call before December 1st. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
The best time of the year is here. Toyotathon. Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton are providing you with the largest savings and the widest selection of inventory on Toyota favorites like Tacomas and Tundras, the Gas RAV4, the Hybrid RAV4, and the Hybrid Camry. It's Toyotathon at TOK and TOR. That's ToyotaofKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com. Whether you're in the north or the south, they got you covered. Get a test drive, meet the wonderful staff, get a new car. It's Toyotathon, people. Come on.
O'Brien. This is Chris Davis with the Davis Law Group. Did you know that a pedestrian does not have to be crossing the street on a marked crosswalk to have a successful legal claim against the driver? Pedestrians can even be partially at fault for a collision and still have a valuable claim. Call us today for a free consultation or get my free book on pedestrian accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
Guys, it's time to know your numbers and what they mean. And right now, Revive Men's Health is offering a $400 comprehensive wellness panel for just $99. Free if you start treatment. Offer ends November 30th. Book today at ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Hey, it's Kirk Herbstreit. On game day, great prep makes all the difference. Same goes for your pizza. That's why I go with Frigidaire Stone Baked Pizza Oven. Fresh pizzas go from dough to done in just 2 minutes.
Whether you're throwing a party or squeezing in dinner between plays, this oven delivers hot, crispy, restaurant-quality pizza right from your kitchen. Only from Frigidaire. Game-ready pizza. Get it today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
On the golf tee, it's Skechers World Champions Cup. Watch it live December 4th and 5th on ESPN and ESPN Plus, 12 to 4 p.m. It's PGA Champions Tour golfers from all over the world. Team USA versus Team Europe versus Team International. Watch it live December 4th and 5th on ESPN and ESPN Plus, 12 to 4 p.m. The competition will be tense, but feet will be comfy. Tune in to Skechers World Champions Cup. Final round of golf on Sunday, December 7th on ABC, 1 to 5 p.m.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Your time is money. So why are you wasting it stuck in I-5 gridlock, TSA slowdowns, and SeaTac crowds? Isn't it time to travel smarter? Seaport Airlines offers high-frequency commuter shuttle service from Seattle's Boeing Field to Portland. Park for free next to our terminals. Check in 20 minutes before your departure. Get there faster without the hassles. Seaport Airlines. It's about time. Book today at flyseaportair.com.
At Washington Energy Services, we take the time to get to know you and your home. We have the passion and commitment to see each project through and to treat our work as more than just a job. For over 65 years, we've offered award-winning home services, from heating and cooling, plumbing and electrical, to windows and doors. Complete home improvement handled from start to comfort. For peace of mind when you need it most, count on Washington Energy Services, bringing good energy to your home.
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167, some things have changed, and some things haven't. Using those lanes without a good-to-go account means you'll receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. You'll always pay the lowest toll rate with good-to-go. No change. Carpoolers now need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Does a good-to-go pass still save you $2 on every toll? Definitely not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com. Free Flex Passes while supplies last.
As a quarterback, you cannot run a winning play with a messy playbook. And most companies' data, well, it's a mess. AI is changing the game, but if your data is scattered, you're stuck on the sidelines. Brock Heward here, and this is where my friends at Marquee Data come in. They get your data in shape, clean, connected, ready to perform, so you can finally put AI to work for your business. Whether sales, finance, or operations, every smart move starts with the right data. So head to mydataqb.com to draw up your game-winning data play today. That's Marquee Data or mydataqb.com.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
All right, time for the Seahawks to bounce back from the loss on Sunday, put it behind them. It started with practice yesterday. Attendance, I think, reasonably positive. No Gray Zabel nor Torrey Horton. I don't think that was a huge surprise. Hey, Lyle, we got we got to turn this sound up here. Try that again.
Gray's not going to practice today. T-Knight will not, and Torrey won't. Some other guys limited that were taken care of with reps, but those are the guys that won't practice.
I don't think that was a huge surprise. I don't think we're... Again, we'll see what happens today. Maybe if Zabel's a limited participant today, there's a possibility. But I've just been working under the impression that we're not going to see him until next week, and that he probably doesn't need to go and play against a team like the Titans. We also got some longer-term updates. So let's see. Here's what's going on with Julian Love and Eric Sauberts.
I'd like to be. It's a process, though. I know both guys are doing the best they can to hit the ground running. It's a little tricky when you're coming off of a little bit of break there, so there's some variables at work that we need to be able to kind of hit those landmarks you're going. So as much as you want them to be back as soon as possible, you also need to be responsible on making sure that they're 100% so they can be ready to go. But right now, I think, shoot, for the majority of guys that are on IR, I think we're in a good spot where we have a chance for them to come back sooner than later once they're activated.
All right, so that would obviously be great news, and we found out on Monday just how important it is to Mike McDonald to have Julian Love in particular. Remember Riley Mills, fifth-round pick out of Notre Dame, defensive end, pass rusher, who was injured, which is why he slipped all that far, but it's supposed to be, a guy that might have gone in the second round or so if he had been healthy. It sounds like he's actually making some progress.
He does. I think we're getting within a couple weeks now of him starting to practice, so... Now, he's not one of those guys that would be activated and then be ready to go. He's going to need some football work, but I think we're getting closer.
How cool would that be? It does sound like at least a possibility he could be joining the rotation at some point before this season ends and giving them some depth there as well. So, on to Tennessee. They will fly out for a 10 a.m. start on Sunday, and they will see the number 1 overall pick from last year, Cam Ward.
You can see why he's number 1 pick. Probably has more control over the offense than you would initially anticipate going into the week. Incredible arm talent. And he makes a ton of throws from funky flat like platforms and stuff. So you got to play the whole play through it. And if you start making things up and not handling your assignments through the echo of the whistle, he can definitely make you pay.
Yeah, they're also scoring 14 points a game. So, it's not that I'm not worried. He is a good player, but, man, does he not have a lot around him on the offensive line, on the weaponry. It is a rough situation in Tennessee.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
So as the baseball media rights deals all getting done now before what we think may end up being a labor stoppage in another year, ESPN and Major League Baseball announcing yesterday a 3-year deal. So the press release says that NBC and Peacock are going to become the new home of Sunday Night Baseball and the wild card round. Netflix is going to have the Home Run Derby and a couple of additional games. But then the Mariners actually found their way into this announcement, I think much to everyone's surprise. So you remember the Mariners joined Major League Baseball as one of the 6 teams that were going to have the production and everything done by baseball, right? It's Padres, Rockies, Diamondbacks, Guardians, Twins, and Mariners. That's now going to go to ESPN and the ESPN app. I don't know exactly what that means. I told you guys everything I knew, a couple months ago when this first came out, about how it shouldn't really change much for Mariners fans, right? I assume that's still the case. I'm going to do a little digging. I didn't see this until too late last night. As I said, I was out at a show, so I wasn't able to find out all the details, but let me see if I can do a little work on it this morning and figure out exactly what that means for Mariner fans. I was definitely surprised. Hopefully we'll still be able to use the Mariner app that they created last year. I think that would be the case. Hopefully it will still pop up on Fubo or Comcast or whatever you have as an additional station during game times. But, details to come on what the Mariners are doing there with the new move to ESPN and their platform.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Quiet night for sports, I would say, last night. I did end up watching a little bit of hockey. Watched some Alex Ovechkin as he beat Connor McDavid and the Oilers. Thursday night football, Josh Allen tonight against the Texans, though Houston doesn't have C.J. Stroud, so they're going to go with Davis Mills again, third straight game. Kraken will be in Chicago. They're going to take on Connor Bedard, who is coming off a hat-trick performance himself. That is everything you need to know. 1:15 every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. All right. Let's see. Okay. As I said, Buster Olney at 7:30. Looking forward to that. Remember, Buster's the one who kind of started the whole idea of Tarek Skubal being available and that the Mariners might be a fit for him. So we'll talk to Buster at 7:30, just over an hour from now. And then Daryl Moose Johnston, who's got the game for Fox this weekend. So he's calling the Seahawks game. We'll talk to him about that, about the Titans, and who better to talk to about the increase of the fullback in not just the NFL, but with the Seahawks. We'll talk to Moose about that as well. Before we do it, Joel Klatt he's been good all year, but he was the best he's been yesterday. Don't tell him I said that, but he was really good. And his thoughts on Sam Darnold, I think every single Seahawks fan needs to hear. It's next on Brock and Salk.
He came to Seattle at the trade deadline.
Pitch to Naylor, swung on, drilled, gap right center field.
Getting traded here was a blessing.
And instantly made himself a fan favorite.
They're ride or die fans. Embraced me right away.
A bases clearing, 3-run double by Josh Naylor.
5 more years of Josh Naylor as a Mariner was about as simple a decision as we could make.
I want to continue to give this city the best thing I can.
Live it up, Mariners fans.
That World Series that we're shooting for here.
With the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Well, if you guys have heard me before talking about live music, every time I go to a show, I just come away I don't know, reinvigorated. I love going to see live music. I wish I could do it more. And honestly, when I do retire one day, I hope that's going to be a big part of what I get to do in retirement is go see shows even more often because I won't have to wake up early and talk to you guys every day. And I would love it. I just, that stuff is so important to me. But if you want to retire and you want to retire on time, you can't just like decide on a whim. You've got to start planning for it in advance. And if you're anything like me, you need help with that, which is why I called Trajan Wealth. They can help develop a plan that'll meet your financial goals, your specific financial goals, not just like a cookie cutter deal. Like, what do you need? What are your individual needs? Call them at 206-466-3300, and you're going to start that conversation with them. And it really is that, a conversation. 206-466-3300. They'll ask about your risk tolerance. They'll ask about what kind of growth you want. They'll ask when you want to retire and what those disbursements will look like at that point. And if it's relevant in your case, they'll even talk to you about your legacy, about planning for a will or a trust or however you're going to leave your assets to your relations. It's a pretty incredible service they offer, and I really highly recommend them. Trajan Wealth, you can call them at 206-466-3300 to just set up an introductory meeting. You can also go to TrajanWealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor, paid advertisement.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
A 15-year-old girl who chewed through a rope to escape a serial killer.
I used my front teeth to saw on the rope in my mouth.
The killer prowled the Pacific Northwest in the early 70s. He's been convicted of murdering 2 young women, but suspected of many more.
Maybe there's another one in that area.
Follow and binge all episodes of Stolen Voices of Dole Valley, available now wherever you listen.
This is the home of the Seahawks.
Gonna let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN.
Seattle Sports.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. Are they a reliable service? How will I know if something happens? Are they keeping everyone safe? At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today to talk to a local security expert.
New siding doesn't have to break the bank. We offer affordable options that add value and protection to your home. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. And while we're at it, ask about our roofing, windows, decking, and gutter services for even more savings. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free siding inspection. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
Majority of the people that are coming to see us are within our community. These are people who are providing maybe services that we also use in our community. So the LJ way, to me, somebody can come into a retail setting and not feel like they got to have their guard up. And that's been a long-standing thing in the car business that, we've tried to shape.
Todd and Brett, they made it really easy. You either take care of the customer or I will. So that empowered you. So if something does come up, to do the right thing.
It wasn't just working for a store, right? I was working for a legacy. I can't tell you how many people have come in and said, I've bought 3 cars here. My family has bought 7 cars here. My father or my mother have bought cars here. That's kind of rare nowadays, to get that type of longevity. You have to be doing something right.
The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto Family.
Brock and Salk's Rewind is presented by Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Super athlete Joel Klatt joins us on Wednesdays at this time. It's amazing.
You saw that?
I
you
did.
Saw those swings? Yeah.
I mean, it really was.
I didn't realize Urban Meyer played minor league pro baseball. He had a good swing for 60-something. Yeah. Yeah, he was definitely the second best swing. Yeah, Portnoy was not bad as a lefty, and then the others were.
I didn't see. The only one I saw was Joel, and it looked
good.
just. I mean, what an athlete! My God, and we're lucky he joins us, Brock.
He
Joining us now every week at this time, Joel Klatt from Fox Sports. So you were taking BP at Wrigley, right? And are you behind the plate when you do that, or in front of because they don't generally let you do it at the plate? You were behind the plate, right?
We were. Well, the plate was covered by grass.
Okay.
So you couldn't actually see the plate. But based on the foul poles, we were at least, I would say, 3 to 5 yards behind home plate.
So that ball you hit,
the backstop.
You think that gets out if you're at the plate?
I mean, when I hit it, I was like, oh yeah, that's good. Now I knew it was to the deeper part of the park,
right?
But I'm like, hey, I got that. I'm just waiting for it to fall in the basket, and then I'm gonna jog around and embellish it because that's what I do.
Right.
And it hits the base of the wall.
Oh.
I'm just mortified and devastated, and I've been devastated ever since. And I can't stop thinking about it, and I can't stop being asked about it. And I've never felt worse about myself in my life.
Well, that's a bit of a humble brag. I only hit the fence. I mean, most people are pretty happy to get the ball into the outfield. Oh, I only hit the fence.
You achieve what you emphasize, Salk. I fully expected myself to hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Okay.
I don't know how else to say it. My wife said the same thing as you. Apparently, she has low expectations of me like you do. She was like, but you did so well. And I'm like, yeah, but it didn't go out. What are we even talking about? You take BP at Wrigley Field for one reason. It's not to be like, oh, yeah.
I don't know.
I hit a couple of nice line drives.
You kind of sound like a lot of the 13-year-old girls I see on Avery's volleyball team. We're like, oh, I'm just playing so bad today. I'm playing so bad today. And it's like, yeah, no, you're not. Stop looking for sympathy.
Okay, time out. What was the objective?
I don't know. It wasn't there. What was it? Was it just to have fun?
To hit a ball out of the park. I don't. What else do you take BP for?
Well, then take it from the plate.
I didn't set it up the BP, Salk. I wasn't going to call in the Cubs brass and say, hey, your plate is wrong.
That would have been quite the move. That's a power move.
I was bitterly disappointed.
All right.
I really was.
I'm sorry.
It was super fun, though.
I
had
was
such
more
a
bummed.
good time. And just go ahead.
I was more bummed that I didn't see Gus swing. I saw Urban and Leinert and Portnoy and Mark and everybody else. Where was Gus? Gus didn't want to partake.
To be honest, I don't know. And even the next day, he was like, "Wait." He was like, "You guys took BP?" And we were like, "Yeah."
Have you done that at any other parks? Brock and I have done it at T-Mobile. I've gotten a chance to play at both Fenway and Yankee Stadium, which was awesome. I mean, just amazing.
That's a soft flex.
Have you done this at other parks? Because I think Wrigley would be as cool as it would get.
Wrigley was very cool. I've taken BP at Petco. and then Coors Field in Colorado. I played a few games there in high school and took BP and did it wasn't like a hit and giggle like you've done. Like I was actually there for a legitimate professional tryout.
Oh, this is good.
I don't think I was really trying to comp that, but I appreciate it. I know that I was not a minor league baseball player like you were. All right, let's move this along. Enough of the back and forth, and as Joel and I try to outdo each other, let's go to some football. How impressive was it? Now, they didn't win, so we're not like jumping up and down about what the Seahawks accomplished on Sunday, but what they did to that Rams offense and specifically to Matt Stafford, how hard is that to do?
Very, because you've got an incredible play caller and Sean McVay, and you've got what I think is, I know that people would disagree with me, and obviously Mahomes maybe is in a class by himself, but I think Stafford is as good as any quarterback in football, and so to do that is very impressive. However, this team and the way they've played and the year that's shaping up in the NFC and in the AFC, with the Chiefs being 5-5, can't be a moral victory year. You know, if you had two teams that were just destined to go win a Super Bowl and you could look at this and you could say to yourself, man, we're getting better and we can see the future and this and that, that's great. But in a season like we're having this year that seems to be wide open, you cannot have a moral victory. You can't just say like, that was good for us. And I'm not suggesting like, I'm not, your opinion or everything aside, I just think that look, you got to go win these games, and they become really important. And in particular in the division, in order to host playoff games, like these are vital in a year that's wide open. Guys, there's a lot of teams that could not just go to the Super Bowl, but win the Super Bowl. I was just on with guys in Denver, and we were talking about the same thing. About like what are the areas of that team that have to get better in order to win the Super Bowl. I think the same conversation applies here with the Seattle Seahawks. What are the areas of this team that have to improve or become better to win the Super Bowl, and set aside this idea of growth or moral victories, because this is a year in which I think it's wide open.
You ever throw 4 interceptions in a game, Joel?
I don't think 4. Definitely 3, but I don't think 4.
You throw 3, you throw 4, you throw 5 in an Apple Cup, as yours truly did in 1997. The most important thing to, yeah, it was rough. Sent them to the first Rose Bowl in 60. I said 65. It was actually 67 years. 67 years sent the Cougs to the Rose Bowl in 1997. Yeah, 67. What do you tell yourself? What do you tell Sam Darnold after a 4-interception game?
I think the hard part for Sam is that this is, and I've been thinking about our conversation all week, and all year I've been prefacing this great play with, we'll see about when the games like ratchet up and when they matter, because last year he played great until the games got big at the end, and then he struggled. And this was a division matchup, and it was a giant game, and he went back to the guy who's sitting on the bench against the as a Jet saying, I see ghosts. And that's a trend that is alarming, you know, and it was always in the back of some of our minds as he's playing this great football and efficient football, is like, okay, what happens when it's like, this is a matchup? This is where playoff implications lie. This is where Super Bowl implications lie. How does he play in those moments? And so I would be very concerned. And again, I was trying to figure out a way to be more positive about it and with you guys today, but there's not a lot of positives because of the history. Like if this was an anomaly, I would say, listen, this is not him, guys. You know, don't worry. He's going to move forward and be better because of this. But this is the trend. This is the concern. This was always the concern, even during the quality pockets of play. And so that's, man, like, I don't know how you get over that, Brock.
Well, DJ said to us
you would
yesterday,
say like, hey, memory like a goldfish, you know, you say all these coach speak things, but it's like, this is who he is in these games. And this was always the concern. What did DJ say? He's smarter than I am.
Yeah, DJ just said, because Tom Moore used a line that has always stuck with me that I've shared on many of my broadcasts of playing smart, not scared. Play smart, not scared. DJ talked about, his favorite term is selectively aggressive. Know when to hold them, know when to fold them, right? Matthew Stafford in that game, it was the lowest output as a Ram. I mean, he was like 130 yards. He missed a lot of throws, but he didn't turn it over. Right, he was aggressive.
Well,
when
you play the game in front of you.
Okay,
you're not playing the stat sheet, right? You play the game in front of you.
What was your favorite? Did you have a favorite axiom? Did you have a favorite swing thought? Did you have a favorite thing when, and as you evaluate quarterbacks and analyze them over the course of games and everything else? Is there something that sticks in your craw?
We used to say, "Don't go broke taking a profit."
Mm-hmm.
And play the play in front of you. Greatness is realized through the attention to details. Just utilize the offense. Let the offense be a part of you. All of these things that we would talk about. And when you get outside of that, you try to do too much, or you try to force yourself onto the offense. You see, like to me, the offense is like a book. And the book reveals itself, and you just have to be ready to execute what the offense is asking you to execute at that moment. As soon as you try to do things and force yourself onto the story, or you try to project what you're feeling, what you're seeing, then it goes haywire. So I like that one, Joel. About like,
okay. What's interesting is Titus was actually, I think, doing homework early in the game. So it's just me and a friend of mine who's a football fan and goes to Seahawks games, but never played the game and anything else, but a really bright guy, just a fun, just cool dude. And we're watching it, and it was the first series of the game. After the goal line stand, they get the ball back. It's first down. I think he had a completion, and that first interception, and I don't know if you saw it explicitly, but I'll explain it. He has Cooper on like a, 15-yard, 12-yard option route, and he's getting tugged, and he's clearly covered. And then the only other place to go with the ball is a check down in front of you to Ken Walker. But instead, he retreats and he backpedals, and he literally throws almost blind late over the middle to Cooper. And I'm like, I don't know how that. I was explaining to my friend, I just don't know how that happens with 18 years of football experience. How that one. I understand the second one. I understand the deep out that the line stunt's not picked up. I understand the seam route that you hit your fifth step and you're trying to throw with anticipation. I frankly even understand a jump check down, late in the game. But that one on the first series is that is borderline inexplicable for the first series of this game.
And it's backbreaking too, because it changes the whole dynamic of the game, the way the game is going to be played moving forward. It's one of those things that it is only explained through panic. That's it. You cannot explain it any other way other than he panicked. There's absolutely no reason to throw that football. The offense doesn't suggest you're throwing it there. It's not even that the defense is making it difficult on you or tricks you or I see what you saw or thought or no. And we used to say all the time, the only place the football cannot go late is over the middle, period. Doesn't matter. And so to see that throw is alarming because, again, you see the panic. And Sam has played within himself, and he has played great football, and he's been on time and on target. And there's this moment, there's two things that happen when a quarterback panic. One of two things. They either do this little squat, and you see this a lot at the college level. Their eyes go down and they kind of flinch downwards and they spread out and they squat. And it's kind of should I run? It's almost like that move before you have to take off. You have to get into an athletic position. And there's a little panic squat.
Like a fight or flight.
They retreat. Yeah, it's a fight or flight mentality. Or they retreat. And you see this a lot at the college level. When a quarterback's first instinct is to retreat versus step up, there is a problem. And something is going wrong in the mind of the quarterback with how he's seeing it and what he's feeling in the pocket.
So that's fast. That whole conversation is very interesting. You got me thinking two ways about Sam Darnold. One, the counter to some of that fear is he got it back at the end. He brought them back. He had a really good drive after the fourth pick to score the touchdown. And if it's not for what might be the most clutch punt I've ever seen, and I can't believe those words just came out of my mouth, they probably win that game if he doesn't have to take over at the 1 yard line. And we sit here and say, all right, he blew it and he played really poorly, but he found a way to get over it and he stayed in it mentally and a neutral mentality and long term, let's see if this is just a blip on the radar. So that would be the positive side of it. The other one, though, Joel, and I'll throw both at you at once, is he's now 1-3 in these late game situations where you need your quarterback. You need to go down and score. And I know it was hard doing it at the 1 yard line, but you had a timeout. You had 2 minutes to play. Like, you got to go down and kick a field goal. Like, that's unfortunately the gig, and that's 1-3 now in those scenarios this year. That, to me, is more alarming than 4 picks.
I get frustrated in sports in general. Seeing guys that are really good when it doesn't matter. And I've always thought this, always. I wish that we did a better job of measuring what a quarterback does on base down and base football versus situational football. Like, what are you, and unfortunately, like, for instance, I would love to see a guy's numbers, true numbers, when he's down a possession and on third down, off schedule inside of 2 minutes. Like, that's a different play than, base down at 2nd and 2 on the -40 with 8 minutes to go in the second quarter and you're up 7. It's like, well, that's just and yet we rate those 2 passing attempts the same. Well, they're different. They're different. Mm-hmm. It's like hitting in a game down 6-2 with nobody on in the 8th and you go tank versus there's 2 runners on at 2nd and 3rd, like the Blue Jays had, countless times in game 6 and 7 of the World Series, and you can't get them in. So, like, well, which is a more impactful at bat? So I'm talking about situational numbers, situational football, and I believe that a quarterback's main job is not base football. That's just a prerequisite. Your main job is, what do you do when the situation is either against you or it's unique and or it's important? Because those snaps and those attempts are much, much different. And unfortunately for Sam, he has not played well in those situations. And he's accumulated a lot of what I would call like base down stuff. We used to talk about that in Denver all the time. There was a guy, Troy Tulowitzki, the shortstop. And everyone's like, oh, Tulo's so good. Tulo's so good. And it's like, Tulo never had a clutch hit in his life. It's like he would come up and I would just sit there and be like, ain't happening.
But what about when the whole crowd would go, dun, 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 too low.
Too low. It's like, you better do that when you're down 6-2 and there's no one on, because that boy is showing up at that point.
Wow.
Okay, so what would be then your counsel to Janoko, the QB coach, to Clint Kubiak, and most importantly to Sam? What would be your counsel to try to coach out some of that, what you call panic, some of that situational struggle? What would you do to continue to develop and coach it out of them?
I think the only way forward is backwards. You get simpler. And I'm not talking about schematically more simple. You get more simple in terms of how you attack mentally that area of the game. And you pour yourself into the details and your job, and you just start to make it very black and white. I think panic creeps in when you've got gray area. And offensive football is taught 2 different ways. And Brock, you know this. Like, there are some offensive coordinators and quarterback coaches that live in the gray area, and they allow their quarterback to go out there and make a lot of decisions. And there's not a lot of black and white, like, hey, if you see this, let's do this. If you see that, then let's do it a different way. And generally speaking, when a guy is struggling with panic in those moments, I think you need to make it more black and white and less gray. So giving Sam more defined answers with what he's going to do and how he's going to do it in those areas of the game, I think would be beneficial. But again, two different trains of thought. There are other guys that would tell you, no, he's thinking too much. You got to let him just go be freewheeling and give him more gray area. I vehemently disagree with that. Vehemently disagree with that. You need to take that thought process away, and you need to make it very robotic and regimented so that he can go out there and react and not think. He needs to be out of his own head.
All right, can we talk about something a little bit more important? Joel Klatt, Fox Sports, top college football analyst, big-time football analyst with us as he is every week. And Joel, we got to talk about something more important. You know DMAC, right?
What's coming up?
You know DMAC.
Stop.
In Denver. Stop. You know DMAC in Denver, the radio host?
Yeah.
All right, so DMAC goes to a high school football game on Friday night, supporting his buddy, Coach Sanford, and says some impressive stuff here, go Smokey. And I wrote back, because I knew who the quarterback was for one of those two teams, and said, hey, how was Titus? I heard he was pretty good. The response I got from DMAC about one Titus Heward says, insane. Best looking quarterback in Colorado at any level. Any level. What do you make of that?
When you win, say little. When you lose, say even
no one's
less.
asking you to say anything. Keep your mouth shut. I'm talking to Joel. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Joel.
We'll see. I mean, he's young. Like, there's some potential there.
Okay.
But like,
thank you, Joe.
I don't know, man.
It's not what you do versus Erie. It's what you do versus Creek. All right.
Yeah.
It's not based down.
Who cares?
So that's fine.
You know,
That's right.
Are we trying to
we
be
got bigger?
Are we trying to be Troy Tulowitzki or David Ortiz?
That's right.
You know, we trying to be Tulo or
we
Jeter.
got Jay Keeps legend this week. All right. We got a big challenge this week. That's all. That's in the past.
I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with the name on his back.
No,
I'm not.
That's right.
You know, I mean, I remember that name on his back. His dad throwing those 5 picks against Washington State. You know what I mean?
Thank you. This is why Joel is going to train.
Have you seen, seriously? Have you seen this kid throw the ball? Have you seen him throw?
I've seen videos.
It's crazy.
Yes,
He's got a cannon.
He hangs out with my nephews sometimes because Brock is neighbors with my brother-in-law and sister-in-law. I don't know if you knew that, so
I didn't.
It's pretty cool. Pretty stinky.
I told Brock where he was going to live when he moved to Denver. I was like, "Oh, I know the exact house you're going to buy." And Brock was like, I don't think so. He bought the house.
Literally the exact house, not just the exact neighborhood, but the house.
Brock,
pretty close.
Am I right?
Close.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's
That's
pretty amazing. All right. Well,
who do you got this week, by the way? Who do we got this week? Are you back in your condo at Ohio State?
I am. I'm going to Ohio State.
Nice.
What are the odds?
Joel, I can't
very
tell
high.
you enough. Like, honestly, we talk about Sam and all this stuff. I can't stop talking. And I said it earlier in this week. I said on Monday. I said, we are not going to sell what JSN is doing short. Just like we did not with Cal Raleigh. When Cal was doing things never done before in the sport, and that catcher in particular, we are not going to just be like, oh, yeah, this is nice. Joel, what JSN is doing, he has a chance. I mean, he is more than on pace through, 65% of the season, 60% of the season to get to 2,000 yards receiving. I mean, the dude
listen,
bro.
He's turning into the best receiver in football.
Yes. Like, I know Jamar Chase is more dynamic, right? I know Malik Neighbors is faster. I know that, there's
but I want someone that's reliable, man. And I'm not saying those guys aren't reliable, but like, this dude is open. This guy creates space. He is reliable with his hands. He's terrific with the ball after the catch. He's smart. He understands leverage. He is the greatest asset that Sam Darnold has, period.
Man, that was really good stuff from Joel Klatt yesterday. The only thing I would disagree with in there is, the fact that I don't know that Sunday was a must-win game the way Joel was making it out to be like, oh, you got to win these games. Like, you do. I mean, obviously you want to win these games and they're important, but you're going to get another shot at them. You beat the Rams the next time and take care of business and everything's fine. This one kind of gets erased. So it was a big game, and you wanted to win it, and it's a good measuring stick, and you learn about your team, and there's a lot of conversation about what it means for Sam Darnold, and I think all that is fair. But I don't know whether, to me, that was you got to hold everybody accountable because this game has to be won. Like, yeah, you want to win. The next one is a little bit more like that than this one was. So we'll be talking about that one in a few weeks. Mike McDonald's not ready to yet. I do want to come back to, though, something Joel said yesterday about the quarterback, because I think it relates to everything the Seahawks are doing. Brock and I will address it together next on Brock and Salk.
Hawks Live.
This should be fun.
Presented by the Dining District at the Bellevue Collection. Tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Live from Bellevue Square's center court. Come on by and join hosts Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer. With this week's guest, Seahawks wide receiver Rashid Shaheed. Hawks Live. Tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. exclusively on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports, on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
Makita's built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts. With tools built to last, job after job, year after year. Performance that pays off, because when the job calls for the best, you answer. And when you need the best, you call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin. And that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Black Friday Comfort Sale is on now at Home Comfort Alliance. Save up to 75% on furnaces, ACs, heat pumps, EV chargers, generators, and more. And take 18 months to pay with 0% financing. Call before December 1st. Visit HomecomfortAlliance.com.
And now, Tales of Another Way. You've got your same old playlist, but another song about a breakup is just a downer. 2 minutes in your music app, and now you're groovin', man. Sometimes another way is the better way, like the new SR 509 Expressway, the alternate route that'll help manage congestion on I-5 and other local roads. It's tolling now, and you can save $2 per toll with a Good-to-Go pass. Get a free sticker pass at goodtogo509.com.
Michelle Smallman here for Gainbridge and their Give Back program, Gainbridge Assist powered by Parity. Gainbridge and Gainbridge Assist powered by Parity's goal is to empower girls and women through sports and education, providing 32 organizations in 21 states $222 of grant funding during 2025. These grants aim to level the playing field and expand access to sports and education for girls and women across the country. Here's to a future with no limits for women's sports with Gainbridge and Gainbridge Assist powered by Parity.
This college football season, show your school spirit every time you pay. Introducing college-branded Venmo debit cards. Rep your team on and off the field with custom school designs that let everyone know who you root for. Whether you're tailgating, grabbing snacks for the watch party, or celebrating a win, you can unlock 15% cash back at ESPN. 1 free year of Perplexity Pro and more. This college football season, score more with the Venmo debit card. Get yours now in the Venmo app. Learn more at venmo.com/collegecard.
Max cashback varies. Terms apply. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank, N.A.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Heward and Marcus. Sorry about Mike Heward. Not exactly Joe Klatt there in the pocket.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
All right, good morning, Brock. Good to be with
morning,
you.
Mikey.
Got so much to do. Buster Olney's going to join us here in 30 minutes. Talk some baseball as the hot stove is in season, man. Everything is happening. There's deals and signings, and the Mariners have already been involved, and we'll see what direction we expect all of this to go next. So we'll talk to Buster coming up here in 30 minutes, and then Daryl Moose Johnston later here at 8:30. He's calling the game, and we can talk Seahawks, and we can talk fullbacks, and a lot of good stuff.
Before we do any of that,
Yeah.
and I know you want to get to quarterbacks here off of some of the things Joel said yesterday. Can you give a Cliff Notes, or what does Lyle call them now on the old digital world? We used to call them Cliff Notes. Spark Notes. Can you give me a little Spark Notes if you know about this new deal with baseball?
I
and
do.
ESPN?
Yeah, I can. In fact, I got it in Need to Know. So we're going to do it at 7:15. I will walk through it. I've talked to some folks and kind of understand.
Oh, good job.
The short answer is nothing changes for anybody this year regarding the Mariners. There will be no change in 2026 and very little change in 2027, and it will all be positive, not negative, is how I understand it. But I will explain in a little greater detail at 7:15, I promise. Because I know people are anxious and want to know what that looks like. No, let's start here with Joel Klatt, because he said two things, maybe three yesterday, Brock, that really jumped out to me regarding quarterback play. He I thought was a little over the top on the importance of last Sunday's game. That's when you have to win. Like, you're going to play the Rams again. Like, I don't know. That I thought was a little much, but he doesn't necessarily know all the ins and outs of their schedule and where they're at. So I'm not, like, looking. That's why I didn't get into an argument with him about it yesterday. But I don't know. Like, you want to win it. It tells us a lot about where you're at. But beat them in 3 weeks, and we're not really having any conversation.
And more importantly,
about
beat
that
them in
game
the
yet.
playoffs.
Right. So I don't know. That to me was not the end of the world. But this was an interesting one. This was Joel's thoughts on, what quarterbacks need to do and what makes a good quarterback.
I believe that a quarterback's main job is not base football. That's just a prerequisite. Your main job is, what do you do when the situation is either against you or it's unique and or it's important? Because those snaps and those attempts are much, much different. And unfortunately for Sam, he has not played well in those situations. And he's accumulated a lot of what I would call like base down stuff.
So I think it's a really interesting way of looking at quarterback play, right? What you do with the basic stuff, like that's the prerequisite. That's like, hey, you want to be a writer? Cool. Well, you got to know how to type, but that doesn't make you a good writer. It's just a prerequisite for becoming an author. And I think that there is a pretty good comp to be made there. It made me think about the fact that, they pointed out during the game, the Seahawks are last in the league in third and long and first in the league in third and short. That to me is some of the difference between being able to do the basics and being able to do, as he said, the stuff when it's against you. I think the fact that they've had some struggles in those big moments late in games, that's telling as well. And then, struggles against some of, not all, but some of the better teams they've played this year. It does make a compelling point for Joel's case there.
It does. I tend to. It's interesting as an old baseball guy as he is. I kind of tend to use some of the baseball thought here, and that is, well, you can have your early game at bats, but it's all about what you do in clutch moments, right? It's all about those at bats. Well, but those early at bats are really important too, and that's how you accumulate a lot of a lot of numbers and a lot of production, and your base down stuff is really important as well to get to better third downs. And before this last game, he was top 5 in the league in third downs. But you throw a couple picks on third downs, you don't have as big of numbers, and all of a sudden that rating tumbles.
Yeah, but again, as this was during that game that it was pointed out, like those are the third and shorts.
But what do we hear about this team heading into the season? What do we hear about Clint's system?
Agreed.
What do you hear about the personnel heading into this system?
Yeah.
Right. This is a system that is really predicated on those base downs and making sure you stay on schedule.
Well said. Yep.
It's not a system that is built as much out of the shotgun. Right. It's not a system that's built to throw first and do all of those things. Really, your strength is to be built on base down production, to be built on run and play action production on first and second down. So I don't want to minimize all of those things, because that's been, I mean, before this game, bro, it was pretty darn electric of what he was doing in the play action, the base downs, the early downs, the shots, all of that stuff. And collectively, I don't know, watch tape of Anthony Bradford try to pass block. Watch the tape of the right side try to pass block on a 3-on-2.
It is not the strength. Some of that throughout the league, though. I don't know whether that's unique to the Seahawks.
It's not the strength of this group nor this system.
Not in those moments, clearly. Yes. I think it's a good way of describing the difference between game managers and the rest of the league. Right? When we talk about game managers, I think that's some of what Joel is saying. Like, a game manager is doing all those basics.
Yep.
It's what do you do in those other moments? And what I have always found, we've often talked about the other side of it. Like, well, what about the guys who might do the third and long stuff but aren't good at the basics?
Correct.
The Kyler Murray is like, he's a good example for me, right? Like, he might make a good splashy play, and you're like, oh my God, the arm talent. Yep. It's like,
sure,
cool. How was he on like 2nd and 6 when you needed a 4-yard completion and he overshot the guy by 5 yards? Yep. And Sam's been great at that stuff, and that stuff is very important to me. Yes. Very important. And it gets overlooked because of the flash of the Sam Darnolds. Jay Cutler was the guy we would always bring up. I know it's been a while now, but as this problem, right? He couldn't do the basic stuff, but yeah, great. He was good on 3rd and 12. Cool. Like, stop getting into 3rd and 12, Jay, because you were so inaccurate or you throw a bad pick, and then you have to become a gunslinger, which sometimes you're good at.
Yep. So you like to talk about
Sam is good at those things.
Yeah, you like to talk about Titus's arm and yada. There's 100,000 kids across the country that throw like Titus.
No, there isn't. I mean, that's not true.
There are.
That's not true.
Okay, there are a lot.
No, there aren't.
Salk,
no, there aren't. You're lying. That's not true.
There is a kid down at Graham Kapowson.
I'm sure there's a couple kid. Like, there's maybe a dozen or so, but don't tell me there's tons of kids that throw a football 65 yards off their back foot like it's nothing. I don't want to hear it. That's not true.
All right.
It's just a lie. You're lying to our audience this morning.
The point is, there's a lot of quarterbacks that can throw the ball well. There are in this day and age much more than there were 25 years ago, 30 years ago. Let's see, 1995.
Don't worry about it. You don't want to get too caught up in those details.
32 years ago when I was playing high school football, like, if we played a team from Spanaway Lake and the kid could throw 20 yards, like, oh, that kid's a pretty good thrower. There's a lot of high school kids that throw pretty well. What I think Joel is talking about are these steps in progression. And I think what was disturbing, and it was just a little disturbing to me, very disturbing to Joel, was to see some of this regression in this game with stuff that you thought you were beyond that, right?
Well, yeah, he used the word panic, and I thought that was, this is a pretty damning statement from Joel Klatt.
It is only explained through panic. That's it. You cannot explain it any other way other than he panicked. There's absolutely no reason to throw that football. The offense doesn't suggest you're throwing it there. It's not even that, like, the defense is making it difficult on you or tricks you or like, oh, I see what you saw or thought, or like, no. And we used to say all the time, the only place the football cannot go late is over the middle, period. Doesn't.
He goes on from there, but you get the idea. And now, look, as we said yesterday, like, this whole idea of he panicked, it spiraled on him. Well, then how was he able to get it back late? Like, I don't know. That one's hard for me, even though I think Joel knows a lot more about the position.
I think in those moments, I think, to be fair, like, the middle ground of that is in those moments the game sped up on him. Right, if it's Janoko, right? The QB coach, Coach Janoko, and you're Clint, and maybe even Mike pops in eventually. Like, if you're just watching this, these individual plays, like, yeah, man, the game sped up on you. It's like that poor guy in the baseball playoffs, right? Ball gets dribbled back to him, throw it home. What are we doing? You know, like, oh my gosh, that's catastrophic.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, a couple of those were in that same vein. You know, but unlike that reliever, who was that for? The Phillies? Unlike that dude, he didn't get another chance. And Sam did. And Sam got a whole nother drive. And then he got a whole nother drive. And he put his guys in position to still find a way to win that game. And, you know, that's a game. That's a position.
Well, I will keep coming back to this. While that can sound like kind of a negative conversation around Sam, I'm not sure that it is. What I love about him is that he's been really good at the basics. He's been really good at the first and second down, short passes, driving it down the field, making all of the ones that Joel called that he called the base. Sam's done all of that, and he's done some of the, extra credit work as well. The question to me, the two questions left to be answered over the course of the rest of the season: how much of the extra credit can he do, and how much do they need him to do? Because if they can limit how often they need him to do the extra credit work, well, then hopefully he's at his best in those big moments late in games when they really need him to get it done.
Well said.
Buster Olney going to join us in 20. We'll come right back with everything you need to know. And yes, I'll try to explain everything I know about this Mariner change with ESPN next season or beyond. It's coming up on Brock and Salk.
After hitting a flat note in L.A.,
Sam looking, dumps a pass, it's intercepted. That's number 4.
The Seahawks head down yonder to Nashville, looking to get that twang back.
As a team, we're in good shape. One loss doesn't define us.
Rocking and rolling their way to another win.
You know, it's about us, how we can get better as a team.
When we do it right, it's all within our wheelhouse.
Seahawks, Titans, Sunday. Kickoff at 10 a.m., pregame at 7. Giddy up.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Stacy here, and I have had a horrible experience selling and buying a car. That's real. So trust me when I say I know a good experience when I see and feel it. Selling that old car or getting a new one from a place you can trust does make a difference. And that's been my experience at Wayscar Ford in Auburn. These are real people I'm talking about here. Mark and Chris have been absolutely wonderful. I also met The Way himself. They all care about making sure you have a hassle-free, low-pressure experience. And they mean it, because you can sell your old car to Wayscar Ford, get paid for it that day, and then get a second check when they split the profit of selling that car with you. You can also explore a competitive selection for your new ride and upgrade like I did. I upgraded to a 2025 Bronco Sport, heated steering, all-wheel drive, leather interior. I'm obsessed. Wayscar Ford is family-owned and operated for 103 years in Auburn. Lifetime powertrain on all new Fords, never any pressure. If you change your mind within 5 days or 500 miles, take it back for a 100% refund. wayscarford.com.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for RLE. That's Refractive Lens Exchange. Now, Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, no contacts, readers, or cataracts. Now, if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top: you never develop a cataract. Now, if you're somebody like me that had a pair of readers in every room of the home, in your car, you had to bring them into the restaurant with you. Otherwise, like me, you couldn't read the menu. That has all been rectified thanks to RLE. So whether it's LASIK, EVO ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to recommend what's best for you. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now the company's changed, or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers.
Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Touchdown! Seahawks! Ken Walker III!
Get everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
As a quarterback, you cannot run a winning play with a messy playbook. And most companies' data, well, it's a mess. AI is changing the game, but if your data is scattered, you're stuck on the sidelines. Brock Heward here, and this is where my friends at Marquee Data come in. They get your data in shape, clean, connected, ready to perform, so you can finally put AI to work for your business. Whether sales, finance, or operations, every smart move starts with the right data. So head to mydataqb.com to draw up your game-winning data play today. That's Marquee Data or mydataqb.com.
Need a break from everything? Escape to a place where anything is possible and the fun never stops. At Silver Reef Casino Resort, you'll discover world-class dining, championship caliber golf, a full sports book and bar, over 1,000 top-rated slots and table games, and so much more. Come join the fun and see why we've been consistently rated one of the region's top destinations. Visit silverreefcasino.com to book your stay and discover all the exciting events and promotions we have in store for you. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5, exit 260.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
All right, Seahawks, Brock, time for them to bounce back from a tough loss on Sunday in L.A. They got to go back on the road again, this time a whole lot farther. 10 a.m. start in Tennessee. They started practice yesterday, and I thought reasonably positive injury report. No Gray Zabel or Torrey Horton. I don't think those were big surprises. No Tyrese Knight, as he's still recovering from the concussion. But other than that, everything looked pretty good, and it sounds like there may be some guys on the mend. Here is Mike McDonald talking about Julian Love and Eric Saubert.
I'd like to be. It's a process, though. I know both guys are doing the best they can to hit the ground running. It's a little tricky when you're coming off of a little bit of break there, so there's some variables at work that we need to be able to kind of hit those landmarks you're going. So as much as you want them to be back as soon as possible, you also need to be responsible on making sure that they're 100% so they can be ready to go. But right now, I think shoot for the majority of the guys that are on IR, I think we're in a good spot where we have a chance for them to come back sooner than later once they're activated.
That's great. Jaron's going to be a little bit later. Even Riley Mills was talked about yesterday, of a guy that we could see at the end of this season. And that guy not gotten hurt and torn his ACL at Notre Dame, Salk, you're talking about a top 3-round guy for sure. Yeah. So, you know, that he'd like to try to find a way to get in this mix and play with this group.
Mike said he's got a chance to get back this year. I mean, he was pretty clear about it. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of good news, I thought, on the injury side of things. We also found out that they may have decided on a running back. On Monday, Mike said, well, you know, I felt really good about what Ken Walker did over the weekend. And then yesterday, much like Mora, he has seen Ken Walker.
Consistency and great attitude and executing at a high level, all those things. All our backs are, and then I think the productivity on the field too, in games, is really what's driving that decision right now. It's not really anything that he's doing behind the scenes.
Availability has been a big deal for K9 over his 4 years here in Seattle. You've seen flashes of greatness. You do see that he's got a different gear than Holani and Zach have in this outside zone. And when he catches it, he is a threat each and every time. It was nice of him to answer that question about running backs. You hear your buddy Bill Belichick?
Did he not want to answer that? That's not.
You didn't hear that? Oh, you didn't hear that one?
That's not really something Bill does. Bill's
we'll
not really
it
interested in talking about that.
No, it's really great. You would think with the position that he's in, with a losing team and everything, you think he might be a little more.
Yeah, it's not his thing. He's not going to do that. That's just not what he believes in. In terms of giving answers that are diplomatic, Leonard Williams was willing to when asked about the Tennessee Titans.
I mean, what I see is they have great players, which is, every team in the NFL. Every team in the NFL has first rounders, Pro Bowlers, All Pros, and things like that. And I think if you sleep on any team in the league, that they have potential to beat you. So, like I just said, we're focused on us and focused on getting better this week, and we're never gonna, overlook a team.
Those are all the things you want to say and believe heading into a game like this one.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
All right, so Brock, ESPN and Major League Baseball announced a 3-year deal yesterday. The press release says NBC and Peacock become the new home of Sunday Night Baseball, wild card round as well. And Netflix is going to have the Home Run Derby plus a couple of additional games. But then it got a little confusing, right? Because they mentioned the Mariners. Now, we knew the Mariners were going to be one of the 6 teams whose games are produced by Major League Baseball, along with the Padres, Rockies, Diamondbacks, Guardians, and Twins. That has not changed. ESPN, though, gets the in-market streaming rights for the 6 teams. So what does that mean? Well, in 2026, nothing. It doesn't mean anything. Nothing will change on that account. Nothing will change from what we said would change a few months ago. Does that make sense? Everything will look exactly as we said it would. If you have Comcast or Fubo or whatever, you turn on your TV and there will be in the guide a half hour before the game starts a channel that pops up where you can watch the Mariners, and that won't change. The Mariners app will still be available, probably in the $20 a month range to watch games. Maybe they're going to give you this year $100 for the year or something along those lines. I don't have the numbers, but there'll be those types of figures will be available if you want their app for in-market streaming. You can still get that stuff through, I believe, MLB TV, but in 2027, it looks like that will shift to being on ESPN rather than MLB TV. So it really shouldn't change anything.
The ESPN app?
Huh?
It'll shift to...
Essentially, you'll also be able to get it through the ESPN app.
Okay.
If you were getting it through the MLB app, you'll be getting it through the ESPN app. But if you get it through the Mariners app, that won't change. If you get it on TV, it won't change. It should not be a major change for most people, and it should be zero change this season.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Everybody else looking around like, man, there's no sports on last night. It was like...
You weren't watching Oklahoma State women's basketball lose at St. John's?
No. They lost to the Johnnies? Well,
you didn't watch the Montana Grizz women's basketball nearly beat Big 12 BYU?
I didn't watch that.
What's wrong with you, Salk?
I watched the Capitals and Oilers.
I watched Molly decorate the Christmas tree while that was on in the background.
I went to go see Krongben. What do you want in my life? There wasn't a lot going on. There'll be more tonight.
You went and saw what?
Krongben. You know Krongben? I'll play him for you. Thursday Night Football, Josh Allen tonight against the Texans, and the Kraken will be on this afternoon. They roll into Chicago to take on Connor Bedard. There you go, the Blackhawks.
Do you
That's
think
everything
any
you
of
need
these
to know.
creative sorts, these artists, these musicians, think about their name?
Krongben? Yeah, I think they think about it a lot.
What is Krongben?
It means airplane in Thai.
Huh. Krongben means airplane.
In Thai. Yeah.
Okay.
So
you went and watched a Thai band?
No, she was just learning Thai when they named the band, and she thought it was a cool word, so they named their band Krongben. This is Krongben. Dude, they're good. They were awesome.
Whoa.
Mostly instrumental. This guy
like
essentially...
heavy synthesizer?
No synthesizer. That's
no
guitar.
Synthesizer. That's guitar.
That is guitar. That's what you call a guitar.
Oh.
I guess it's heavily
You'll understand
produced.
it better if you see them, Brock. I'll send you a picture. He made me roll this in. I think the guy's going for a Cousin It look. His hair is like completely covering his face.
Both the male guitarist, lead guitarist, and the female bassist both wear black wigs. That's not their real hair.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, turn that back up, loud. Don't turn that down. We're listening to Krungden. Come on now. They're good. They were
got
at
a
the
little
Neptune.
like Baby Rush feel to him.
Zero. Couldn't be less. Couldn't be less like that. There's nothing progressive about it at all. No.
Heather and the kids go with you?
No, that was just me. I jetted over there by myself for a quick concert last night.
I might guess that, you go to Kraken Iceplex, go to Tri-Cities. You may get Salk. I think you get a little radio, maybe.
Nope.
I'm going to guess there were no radio listeners.
Not last night. Nope. I also got there late. Was kind of standing in the back. So no, nobody said hello to me. Buster Olney. We can ask him about Krungden if you want, or more appropriately about Tarek Skubal. He's the one who brought this up, so we've been waiting to talk to him. We'll do it next on Brock and Salk.
After hitting a flat note in L.A.,
Sam looking, dumps a pass, it's intercepted. That's number 4.
the Seahawks head down yonder to Nashville, looking to get that twang back.
As a team, I think we're in good shape. One loss doesn't define us.
Rocking and rolling their way to another win.
It's about us, how we can get better as a team.
When we do it right, it's all within our wheelhouse.
Seahawks, Titans, Sunday, kickoff at 10 a.m., pregame at 7. Giddy up.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Yeah, last night, not a great night for sports, but this weekend will be awesome. And if you're looking for a good spot to watch, how about Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel? The new sports bar is phenomenal. Tons of TVs, 60 plus, great food, cool views. It is just a spectacular situation. And get a room because you can stay in one of their beautiful new hotel rooms, use the spa, use the pool. It is awesome. And since I was talking concerts, there is a brand new concert venue that's pretty awesome as well. You can get a whole lot more details at snocasino.com, and you can book there as well. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Ryan Roland Smith here. For more than 35 years, the NBA Health Insurance Trust has been helping local builders, contractors, and their employees save money and gain peace of mind. They offer customized group health plans from the state's leading insurance providers. Small and mid-sized businesses deserve big healthcare access. The NBA Health Trust brings you the coverage you want at a price you can trust. Find out more at MBAHealthTrust.com. That's MBAHealthTrust.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Husky Nation, the rivalry is on, but this time it's bigger than football. This holiday season, we're taking a fight from the field to the table with Rivalry for a Reason, a competition fundraiser between UW and Oregon fans to tackle food insecurity across the Northwest. Every dollar you donate counts as a vote, and votes are unlimited. So let's outgive the Ducks and show our Husky pride. 100% goes to households in need, thanks to Safeway and Northwest Harvest. Visit dogsvsducks.org today.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
With football season comes colder weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here with Keith Dashafi from locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. So Keith, what's your next big play?
Well, Steve, right now get 40% off qualifying installs or no payments and no interest for 12 months on approved credit.
Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This hour of the Brock and Salk Show is powered by Star Rentals, preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Well, hot stove is burning already, Brock. We're not even at Thanksgiving. Winter meeting's still a couple of weeks away, but we've had some great conversations. Tons about Josh Naylor, and then where do you go from here? And then, a week or so ago, Buster just kind of blew our mind open a little bit when he dropped that Tarek Skubal note and threw the Mariners into the mix. And so we knew we had to talk to Buster. We'll do it right now. Good morning, Buster. How are you?
I'm doing great. Yeah, I was texting a friend that after the news came down about Naylor the other day, that no matter what the Mariners do for the rest of the offseason, it's been a good winter for them, right?
Yeah, let's start there.
Because there's so much of the team that's in place.
We really came to love this guy last year. The media, the fans, the players. I mean, I know he's been on, 4 or 5 organizations, but, man, he just was like a dream come true as soon as he showed up here.
Which is part of the attraction to him, I think. You know, he's got some scar tissue. He's got some experience, and that showed. I really felt like in October. Look, at the end of the postseason, ESPN, sent around a note asking us for, best postseason performers. And the best first baseman was Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He was unbelievable. But Josh Naylor was number 2. And he demonstrated, down the stretch and into October that he can hit good pitching on the biggest stage. He was terrific, and he was a great fit in terms of, where he is in the lineup is that guy who's going to make you pay if you work around Julio Rodriguez and Cal. He's that guy. It doesn't matter if they bring in a lefty, a righty who throws hard. He's going to find a way to hit a line drive someplace. And I do think he's gotten better, defensively, certainly on the bases. His time in Arizona seems to have been instructive, where he's a smart player. He can look for opportunities to run. And after this deal went down, I reached out to, executives with other teams and asked about, hey, what do you think about this? And across the board, everyone was saying, good deal for a good player. And they thought it was a good move by the Mariners.
Did it feel like there was, to get done this early and to get a 5th year, was there some pretty good competition, Buster, from what you could feel around the league for his services?
I don't know. I mean, let's face it. First basemen are probably, it's one of the positions that typically gets left behind in this era of analytics. Teams, generally speaking, don't want to pay for that position. Pete Alonso is finding that out firsthand. He did last winter when he wound up settling for what was, turned out to be a one-year deal with the Mets. But Naylor's such a unique player in this era of such big swing and miss. I think that if it had played out fully, you could see other teams as their winners are sort of playing out, jumping into that and saying, yeah, we're interested in that guy. And I think that's probably part of the Mariners' thinking on this. Look, every winter we see the Atlanta Braves, who I think are one of the better organizations. They get their deals done early. Like they take guys off the board. Raisel Iglesias, for example, last night they signed him. They make a trade for shortstop Mauricio Dubon. There's probably other stuff coming. Like they move quickly in the offseason. I don't know why more teams don't do it, because as with the Mariners now, you have a big piece set in stone and you have some cost certainty and you can move from there.
Yeah, it's almost like the eBay buy it now price, right? Where it's like, we could go through the auction or just buy it now for this amount. Okay, let's just buy it. Let's just be done with messing around, and they get that done. It doesn't look like it's going to go that way with Jorge Polanco nor with Eugenio Suarez. Do you have a sense as to the market for either or both of those two guys?
Not in terms of all the teams that are going to be involved. As I say, I think, Jorge probably is going to be someone who, for some teams, depending on how the early winter plays, he might be, their number 2 or number 3 or number 4 item on the board. He might have to wait a little longer for his market to play out, unless the Mariners do what they did with Naylor and say, look, we really value the player. We value the character of the guy. Just haven't been around the Mariners for a lot of their postseason. He is a perfect fit with this team. And maybe there's a price at which where Polanco says you can take it down and you can get this done. With Suarez, I think, there are more options at third base. He's competing against guys like Alex Bregman. And given the age, I think that's going to play out a little bit longer.
Buster, you're a Vermont guy, right? Vermont guy, maybe farmer. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he says.
So I'm going to imagine you've seen a hot stove, back in the day in Vermont a time or two. Do you think this stove is going to be cooking this offseason?
Oh, big time. First off, you start out with the fact that the guy you can make case, the best pitcher on the planet, Tarik Skubal, the Tigers are going to be listening to offers for him, and appropriately so, because he's a Scott Boras client. He's eligible for free agency next fall. The Tigers, they're in a position where they know, because he's a Boras client, that he's almost certainly going to go to free agency, and to keep him, they would have to pony up $350 million plus, maybe $400 million, because teams like the Mets are going to be lined up, the Dodgers, the Yankees, the big market teams, will take a shot at him. And I do think probably the smart long-term play, if you're the Tigers, is, look, this guy has extraordinary value right now in the trade market. And so you go to teams like the Mets, maybe like the Mariners with their loaded farm system, and say, okay, we're open for business. What would you give us for him? There'll be some teams I think absolutely will try to take advantage of that. I think the Mets will. I think in the Mariners' case, it is really, because of their, payroll size is different than a team like the Mets. I think it's a legitimate debate where you feel like, okay, do we want to pay the price for what's essentially going to be 1 year of Tarik Skubal in all likelihood, or do we play the long game, keep the prospects, keep the years of control with those young guys? And what we saw at the deadline was the Mariners making moves in an attempt to win the World Series. And we'll see if that's what they do here with Skubal, because, my God, you put Skubal on the Mariners, man, that would be fun to watch.
Yeah, they would be one of the favorites, certainly in the American League, I would hope.
And they already are, right? And exactly. They would build on that.
Yes. So what is it? So what does that take? I think it seems really hard to come up with what the market is for an ace pitcher of his pedigree, but with only 1 year of control. I can't get a sense as to how much you've got to give up to get that.
Are there good past comps?
Well, yeah. I mean, Corbin Burns, a franchise pitcher, was traded from the Brewers to the Orioles with 1 year of team control 2 years ago. But even him, and he went out as a free agent and, got a whopper contract last winter to sign with the Diamondbacks. I don't think it's a perfect comp because as great as Corbin Burns is, he's not Tarek Skubal. and the prospects that the Brewers got back, or the players the Brewers got back, helped them, and they're good players. I still think the price would be steeper. And the Tigers, where they at, and if you're going to trade Skubal and you're going to try to contend in 2026, you would want a pitcher to anchor the deal. Jim Bowden works with the Athletics, suggested today Bryce Miller in the center of a deal. I tend to doubt that because of the injury history. I think the Tigers are going to want a healthy, young, major league ready pitcher. I think the Mets match up really well in that regard. Obviously, if you're the Tigers and you're asking for the sun and the moon, you're starting with Brian Wu. The Mariners say no, and then you move on to potentially other names. But the Mets, certainly with Nolan McLean and Jonah Tong and some of the other young guys who've already pitched in the big leagues, they could be positioned. But, I mean, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. If the Mariners have guys that they're really interested in with the Mariners, if the Tigers have guys that they really like in the Seattle farm system, they can identify those, and then it's up to the Mariners to say yes or no.
Talking to Buster Olney, of course, of ESPN, the voice. One challenge it feels like the Mariners are having this offseason, and they're not alone, is trying to balance the consistency of the players that got them there last year, who really did a lot of good stuff for them, the desire to upgrade and get even better so that they get over the top and actually get to the World Series next year, and still find ways to bring up some of the young players that they are really high on, and we saw how effective that was for Toronto this past year as well. Do you have a sense around baseball, kind of is there a rule of thumb of how to best balance those three things when you're starting to get close to being a World Series team like this?
Well, the late, great Davy Johnson, who just passed away recently, I remember, him saying to me, you got to have young guys. You always want young guys in the mix because young guys bring your energy. And the great thing about the Mariners is they have, it feels like a flood of those guys and options and players who in spring training early in the year are going to push their way to the big leagues, and they're in a good spot there. And I do think, if you do trade for a guy like Skubal, as I said, you are announcing to the world, we are trying to win the World Series in 2026. But there is a sound argument to be made to slow play it, to keep the prospects, because when you look at the landscape of the American League West, I mean, the Astros, who dominated it for a decade, they clearly have come down, and they're going probably into a period of some rebuilding ahead. As Framber Valdez goes out the door as a free agent. The Texas Rangers are going to spend this winter managing their payroll, and their two stars, Simeon and Seager, they're older now. We should look at the A's as being like American League version of the Rockies. You're not going to get free agent pitchers to go and pitch in that ballpark in Sacramento because it's a disaster. So as good as their lineup is, they've got issues there. So there is real opportunity for the Mariners. And if you were to tell me a decade from now that 2025 was sort of their introduction into a long wave of dominance in the American League West, that would not be surprising. So I do think that you can, pay guys like Naylor, not necessarily at the top of the market, but you're keeping a good player. You got Cal Raleigh on a good contract. You've got Julio Rodriguez locked up, and then bring along your young guys around them.
Buster, you mentioned your proximity to this organization through the playoffs, and it was great. It was great to see you and this team and this organization get the national exposure for the first time in a long time in this kind of way. I'm curious what that proximity taught you. Did it change any of your perceptions as you got around Jerry and Justin and this fan base and this team, just as you got closer to it than maybe you had in a decade? So I think that it reinforced what I witnessed and saw in the 90s and early 2000s. I loved going to Seattle. Like the home ballpark. I covered a bunch of games in the King Dome, and it felt like a pinball machine, right? With the offense. And then when they moved into Safeco, it became one of my favorite ballparks. And so to go back there now, T-Mobile Park,
and witness games there and to see the passion of the fans. That is a great baseball city. And, you know, I know it was frustrating for the fans in recent winters to have the payroll reduction. I got to believe that they moved past that. And now going forward with this, terrific farm system they built up with the young pitching that as I said, I think there's a chance that they keep this going for a while. I mean, think about it. A year ago when, they're entering conversations with Cal Raleigh about a long-term contract, and Cal's asking them, hey, what are your plans? And clearly he bought in, and he's a great guy to build around. And Julio is a great guy to build around in terms of personalities. You could see that culture that they have within the organization fully supported by the fan base there. I mean, it really does feel like that for, the next 5 or 6 years at least, we're going to be talking about the Mariners being contenders year in and year out.
Brock, do you know the only U.S. president born in Vermont?
Taft.
Not Taft. I know Buster knows, right?
Well, there are actually two.
Are there two? I'm shocked. I only knew Calvin Coolidge.
ChatGPT didn't do it for you this time.
I knew Calvin. No, it's not ChatGPT. Like I didn't go to the Calvin Coolidge birthplace in 4th grade on our Vermont Odyssey trip, Brock. I've been to Calvin Coolidge's birthplace in Plymouth, Vermont. I don't even want to hear. Who's
Way
the
to
other?
Go.
Who was the other?
Chester A. Arthur.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or is
who
my
wind up being a representative in this, coming out of the state of New York, and was involved in some scandals, which I won't get into here.
Oh yeah, no, my history teacher in 12th grade used to only refer to him as Chester A. I'm a bad president Arthur. That was his nickname.
We don't talk about that in Vermont.
That's why I only knew about Calvin Coolidge, Silent Cal, because we went there and then we had to go to a dairy farm where they were making cottage cheese. And to this day, Buster, I won't eat cottage cheese because it's the worst smell I've ever come across.
Oh my God, cottage cheese! And I'm guessing you went to Billings Farm.
I must have been. I don't know. I was 8, 9, 10, maybe.
Right. Yeah, and just for the record, I live in Montana now. I'm looking at it the skies of Bozeman, but my whole family's back in Vermont, and yeah, been to both birthplaces because we don't get to claim a lot. Carlton Fisk and the two presidents, and that's about it.
Wow, I didn't realize you were in Bozeman. That's a whole nother conversation for another day. Great spot to be. All right, Buster, thank you so much. Good to catch up with you, and there's a ton of great stuff here that we will be talking about for a while as this hot stove burns, and we'll see how it goes. Thanks so much. We appreciate it.
It's going to be fun. Great to talk with you guys.
All right, there you go. The great Buster Olney from ESPN. Well, I didn't realize the Chester A. Arthur thing. I thought of him as a New Yorker. I didn't realize that.
And all the while, Lyle's head is spinning.
He's never heard of any of these people.
What is a president? What do you mean?
A birthplace? What does that mean? I don't even realize.
So, were you forced to memorize all the presidents in order?
I don't know. I could do a lot of it, but I don't know if I could. No, not in order.
Lyle, were you ever pressed in that way in history?
I don't think.
How many presidents do you think you could name?
I don't know.
We might have to do this a little later. I am a little curious how many presidents you could name.
No. I got a good idea.
Do you think you could name 15
No,
presidents?
Hold on. Former president or president of a baseball team.
No, because then you're giving him the name. No way. I think he might know the baseball team presidents, quite honestly. I'm a little curious.
I think Lyle could name all the presidents of the baseball teams.
I think if you start writing down the names of presidents, I want to know if you can get over under 15. Brock, what do you want? Over or under?
Oh, under.
Under 15. Over under 15.
Under.
I'm going to take the over. I think Lyle can get 15 presidents. I think he can get to, if the number is 15, I think he can get to 16. I think he can do it. We'll find out. We'll do it during a break. Right now, some Blue 88.
This is Brock and Salk's Blue 88, powered by Xfinity.
We're going to go red, right, tight, close, sprint left, G, U corner, halfback, flat, on one. Ready?
Brock Heward tackles 3 football questions as only he can.
Blue 88.
Now here's your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
All right, Blue 88 here, Brock. Before we have some really good, here's the thing, I think, calls this week. But let's start here. Sam Darnold, his giveaways. What are people getting wrong?
Yeah, actually, I think Mina Kimes got this right. And she was talking yesterday on the podcast about when you study a lot of his interceptions, you do see one commonality. Can you close your eye and think about some of those songs?
When I think about what?
the 4 picks this week out of his 10 interceptions this year. As you kind of picture him,
It was late.
this one and that one. That's part of it. A part of it is a bunch of them were late. But to her point, and I think this is correct, it is pressure in his face. That when he is able to escape, and he's done that to his right, and he's really good when he escapes to his left. He's made a bunch of secondary plays, the next play we call it. He's made a bunch of those to his left. When he gets in trouble is when the edges, like a lot of quarterbacks, the edges are secure with the rush and those lanes have integrity, and then there's push in his face. That's where the backpedaling. That's where the issue. That's where not seeing everything quite as clearly comes into play. And he's not alone in that. I mean, think about the Seahawks through the years facing different quarterbacks, and there have been a handful of guys. Aaron Rodgers is one of those guys. You want to get people in his face. If he can step up, and if he can climb up, and if he can climb and escape to his right and his left, there's a lot of comfort. It is when that pocket just starts to get the air suffocated out of it, that's where, to Joel Klatt's term, that's where you do see the feet and the eyes become disjointed. That is where you do see some of that fight or flight, and unfortunately, where you've seen some of those mistakes. Now, here's what I hope doesn't happen, Salk. Here's what I really hope doesn't happen, and I think it can. An overcorrection. No, we just got to take sacks.
Right.
Yeah, I've fought.
Isn't there a middle ground of throwing it away?
I have fought the good fight. I've only taken 10 sacks in 10 games. It's been a huge point of emphasis. He's taken 10 sacks in 10 games. He took 9 in the playoff game last year.
Right.
So
no, it's good, but throw it away.
I hope.
Let's just throw it away.
Well,
There's an
that's
in-between.
easier at times said than done because sometimes there's not places to throw it.
No, but you got to figure out a way to do that. You can't take sacks. You can't throw the ball to the other team, so you got to throw it away. Question number 2. Brock, why does the Seahawks offense need to eat more?
Yeah, I need to hear this.
Yeah, I got it.
I need to hear this.
This is Mike McDonald talking about the offensive line. Oh, hold on, live. We got to turn that sound back up there.
Well, I think as an offense, we need to finish plays better. So we call it eat. We have an identity about how we want to play and how we want to finish plays, and we want to do it going forward. And we talk about finishing in a dominant position, and there's a lot of good stuff on there where we can say, hey, this is the way it looks, but we need to finish plays better as a whole, really all 3 levels of our offense.
The old Harbaugh-ism that he heard there for years was strain. We need to strain through those blocks. We don't just need to make contact with it. We don't need to just have our hand and head placement here. We actually then have to strain through those blocks. And man, there were 3, 4, 5 plays, Salk, in that Rams game as you watch it. Like if they're going to play nickel and they're going to play dime and they're going to play 2 safeties and you get a one-on-one block, it's not just about getting your body on them. Just maintain that block. Just eat for one more bite. And if you do that, that 3-yard run turns into 7 or 8. That 2-yard run turns into 7 or 8. And that is a monumental difference in what it affords you on the next down, and the next down, and the next down. So, yeah, hopefully we can see a little bit more of that over these next 7 weeks.
All right, question number 3. Morris brought up the idea that if this offense continues to cook, that Clint Kubiak's not going to be here much longer. You and I haven't been as worried it will happen right away. And for me, it's about his personality. He doesn't strike me as a head coach right now. Yeah. What do you think? What's going on?
Yeah, I was looking yesterday. There was a list that was put together of all the possible head coaching candidates for next year. And he was well down that list. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Not only for some of these guys that are going to be, let go and otherwise, but the Robert Salas, right? And we know this about the NFL. The NFL is a reactionary league.
Right.
Oh gosh, look at Mike Vrabel. Oh, look at Mike McDonald. Oh, look at these defensive guys. Where is somebody else doing a really nice thing defensively? What about that Evero guy out in Carolina? He's already been interviewed. He's already been through the cycle, right? The Robert Saleh that's already had some experience. Look what he is doing in San Francisco.
Wasn't he one of the guys that was interviewing here, Evero?
They interviewed him. Yeah. Yes. So what you're going to see, and on that list were already, I don't know, at least a half dozen to double digits of guys that have gone through the cycle. Kubiak will get into it. He'll get into the blender this year. If they keep doing what they're doing, he'll get into the interview process. But very rare is it like, it takes a Sean McVay, right, who got in the interview and was like, well, that's just a different kind of wonder kid right there. Like, and I don't think Cougs has quite got that persona, as you said, and that presence, nor maybe that background in the league right now. It's going to take him a little while. So I don't have a huge amount of worry in this offseason, in this cycle, that we won't see him in 2026.
Good, because he's doing a really good job at the job he has right now. That is today's Blue 88. We will get Lyle to write down presidents during a break and see how many he gets to. I think he can get to 15.
You think
I
so?
really do. Yeah, I think he's heard of enough.
He said he thinks he knows more than you guys think he knows, but then he started writing them down and said, I don't want to do this.
Oh, no. I said I didn't want to write them physically. I'm typing them.
Oh, you're typing. Oh, okay. Well, that's
And you're
fine.
not cheating. The nice thing about Lyle is he
won't
does have
cheat.
integrity.
No,
He won't
because I
cheat.
think he actually would prefer to not know because it keeps up
Right.
his belief that you don't need to know these
No, I
things.
could see if he was searching on
Yeah,
them.
he wouldn't
He's
do
not.
that. I have zero worry about that. None. Howdy would have cheated. Howdy would
So
have cheated.
you didn't mention here's the thing one
I
time
know.
in 3 days.
I know.
And yet looks like we got a good batch.
That's what I thought, and then Maura was like, "I don't know, we'll see." She wasn't entirely convinced. I think it looks pretty good. We'll play them next. It's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710.
Hawks Live.
This should be fun.
Presented by the Dining District at the Bellevue Collection. Tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Live from Bellevue Square Center Court. Come on by and join hosts Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer. With this week's guest, Seahawks wide receiver Rashid Shaheed. Hawks Live. Tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger. But your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity. Imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply.
This year, make comfort the first gift during the Black Friday sale at Home Comfort Alliance. Through December 1st, call to get savings up to 75% off furnaces, air conditioners, backup generators, EV chargers, water heaters, and more. If your system's over 12 years old, upgrade now before it breaks and save. And remember to schedule your consultation before December 1st and save up to 75% and take 18 months to pay off 0% financing OAC. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com today.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Ready to order.
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Buc-ee's.com today and drive with confidence. Buc-ee's.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
At Bank of America, we asked our people, how do you take ownership of your career?
I'm able to grow my way by putting the priorities that I have for my career first.
I thrive on being a leader who's behind the team, not in front of the team.
Every few years, I'm being re-energized because I get to do something different and learn something new.
See how our teammates are growing in their careers at bankofamerica.com/great place to work. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America. Proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
This hour is brought to you by Trajan Wealth Management.
Get a freaking auto! From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Ewart is my hero.
Jim Buhner just punched me in the kidney.
We're going to choose you on the interview.
It doesn't work that way, Sherm. This is a show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Now, here are your hosts, Brock Ewart and Mike Salk.
Hello!
All right, Lyle's been diligently working, Brock, on the U.S. presidents. We don't have time to get to it quite
now
yet.
I'm wondering if he can name all 47.
There's no way.
It's a long list he's got going there.
No, he doesn't have 4. I'm saying I'm going to put my number for Lyle at like 21. 15 was low. I wanted the higher on that. I wanted the over. You guys took the under. You disrespected Lyle. I think he's going to get to like 21, 22.
I don't think we disrespected
Yeah,
him.
you did.
I think he sets the bar low by the way he reacts to some of the
It was a
things
lack
that
of
we
respect,
say.
Maura. You had no respect for Lyle. And I did. I think that's really what I've learned here this morning. And maybe that's what the people will learn. And here's the thing.
Brock Ewart doesn't just hate one kid.
I am so disappointed in Michael Salk.
You don't know what you're talking about. You're mindless. Love you, bye.
It's time for Brock and Salk's Here's the Thing.
Okay, here's the thing.
All right, let's start with Kevin.
Here's the thing. See, the reason Mike Salk doesn't need your lowly chapstick is because he indulges in caviar, foie gras, and A5 Wagyu, all at the tippy top of Ascend Prime. Yes. See, that is what us elites do. We take care of ourselves through our diet. Yes. I'm sorry to let the cat out of the bag, old chum, but I'll see you at the yacht club. Ciao.
It's good. I like how somehow I've become a little waspier than I may be in real life, but okay.
Very buttery.
Very
fatty.
Yeah, you know it's a complete load of hooey is that chapstick, Brock. Total scam. Total scam. Here's Joe.
This is Joe in Boise. Here's the thing. I got a chance to meet Ryan Leaf at the Coeur d'Alene Golf Resort in the clubhouse after his college career was over, his pro career was over. And I congratulated him, shook his hand, said thank you for taking my Washington State Cougars to the Rose Bowl for the first time in more than 6 decades. I hope at some point I'll get a chance to meet you, Brock, shake your hand, and also thank you for helping the Cougs get to the Rose Bowl. Go Cougs.
That's not nice.
You and the go-to guy hanging on the goalpost, ripping it down.
Wow.
Stadium. Thanks.
Really? You did bring it up this week, though.
I did have a Husky friend remind me. I said 65 years, and he texted me 67.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't shortchange him those 2 years of misery. Here's Daniel.
What's up? My name's Daniel. I'm a Seattle Seahawks fan, and I would love to get on your guys' radio show.
You just did, Daniel.
Okay, you did, but maybe
You
next
did.
time, say something.
That was it, Maura?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, Daniel, try that again. Use the Seattle Sports app. Try that thing again, and then, say something.
Yeah. About you.
Keep going. Give us a reason to put you on the show. Give us a
By the way,
reason.
this, I think, is my favorite Seahawks sweatshirt.
It is cool. It's the old school.
It's a good one.
It's old. Gosh, it just feels good.
You look good. If you're watching on YouTube or the aforementioned Seattle Sports app.
Chuck Knox years right here. Good years.
Here's James, who wants it's bringing together the Russell Wilson cameo and Shakespeare, Lyle's favorite.
So here's the thing. A week later, I still think you need to find a way to have Russell Wilson deliver a motivational message to our dear Lyle about Shakespeare. I just can't imagine the number of drops and audio clips you guys could get of Russell Wilson. Mr. Unlimited. You need to be Shakespeare Macbeth Unlimited. Lyle, you the man.
You demand, Lyle. You demand.
I can tell you what won't motivate me to learn Shakespeare. One, sitting in school and being told to do it. And two, having Russell Wilson send me a cameo telling me to do it.
What would motivate you to learn
Nothing.
Shakespeare? Okay.
But not from
Were
Russ.
you ever a Russell Wilson guy?
Yeah.
Lyle?
And it changed at about the same time it changed for everybody else. I was a big Russell Wilson person.
Nice.
But then it changed.
You wanted to let Russ cook, didn't you?
Yeah, we've talked about this. Again, I'll say it again, but aside from the 2 Super Bowl years they had, the first half of 2020 is the most fun I've ever had watching football.
Okay.
Great.
Not the second half of the year.
Defense should have stopped him more.
Maybe there was a relationship between those two things.
Anywho, here we go.
Let's try Cheryl.
Cal Raleigh won all of the awards voted on by his peers, people who actually play the game with him, and didn't win it by baseball writers who don't play the game. Enough said.
Wow. That's a strong take, Cheryl.
I wish I could agree with that take. I want to.
You don't?
I don't. No. I want to agree with that take. I really do. But I think that baseball athletes generally have so little of an idea of what's going on around the league and vote so much based on reputation and stuff like that maybe it's a little better in baseball than it is in football.
I think it's better in baseball. Way better in baseball. You have
football, that stuff is
162
just
games.
meaningless.
Yeah, football, it's silly. I remember the Pro Bowl vote. We would do it as a QB group. What do you think? I don't know.
I don't know. Have you watched this guy play?
I mean, we didn't have any crossover tape with these guys. I don't know. But baseball, you have so many more data
It's a
points.
little better.
Cheryl, I think you're right.
I still don't trust the people. Here's Danny.
Here's the thing. A couple months back, I gave my interpretation of what the Brock and Salk show would sound like if it were a true crime podcast. But this time I thought it'd be fun to see what a Brock and Salk show would sound like as an ASMR podcast. Welcome back. This is Mike Salk. And you're listening to 710. I want your opinion on why Cal is not the MVP. Brock, what do you think? Well, Michael, I believe it's the East Coast bias because our big number has shown more with his left pinky than Aaron Judge has ever shown in his life. Namaste. Until next time, my beautiful people.
That nibbling is horrendous. No, thank you. Danny.
Was that Hannibal Lecter?
I don't know, but I don't want to ever hear nibbling like that again on our show. Ugh. That's just going to take a moment to recover from. We'll go to Wendy, see if she can cleanse the palate.
Someone needs to take Greg Olsen off of the broadcasting, especially for the Seahawks, period. He is so biased. It is not even funny. I'm sorry that he did not have a good time playing with the Seahawks, but that's a him thing, period.
I have so many questions right now. So many questions. I'm not going to ask any of them, but I just want you to know that I have many of them. So many questions.
Well, you agree you don't like him.
But not because of bias.
So many questions.
So many questions. More, I have so many questions.
So inappropriate. so inappropriate.
So many questions. Mike's got questions for me.
Answer these questions, jerks.
Okay.
Hey, Brock, what's better, the biscuits and gravy at the Meridian Cafe or any 3 donuts at Happy Donuts?
Happy Donuts.
Okay. You know Happy Donuts? Okay.
It's a trick question. Nothing is better than the biscuits and gravy at the Meridian Cafe.
Wow.
And Salky?
Yeah.
Who's more overrated, U2 or Pearl Jam?
Oh, my God.
Again,
Easy
a trick
one.
question.
Easy.
Nothing is more overrated than Pearl
U2.
Jam. All right.
Whoa. Yeah, no, U2 might be the most overrated band of all time.
Oh, I thought he meant you two, like Brock and Salt.
No. Oh, that would have been a good question. Yeah, we're pretty overrated. But I would say U2, for sure. It's not close. Very overrated.
Wow.
The
What do you
most
think, Lyle? U2 or Pearl Jam?
You know
He's still typing out presidents.
All right, here's-
Yeah, I ain't got time to listen to those overrated bands who I've clearly heard of, a lot.
Here's Jessica.
Here's the thing. Growing up as a Mariners fan in the 90s, I had all of the player memorabilia. Like, I even had an Alex Rodriguez trash can. That's how bad it was. And then he leaves, and Griffey leaves, and Randy Johnson leaves, and I have to throw it all out. And so now, as a grown-up, when my kids are like, hey, Mom, can we have player memorabilia? I'm like, no, you may not have player memorabilia. It is a harbinger of doom. It portends evil. There will be no player memorabilia in our house. But then Julio and Cal and Josh Naylor are like, hey, maybe we'll stay in Seattle. Like, Seattle fans are pretty cool. And we're like, really? Because we thought we were. We have the mountains and the ferries, and it's awesome. Anyway, I'm sure G. Scott has an amazing analogy for this, but it's hitting pretty hard in a good way, and happy about it.
God, gentlemen, step up your game. The ladies are killing it this week.
Wow. Jessica, and that was Jessica?
Yeah, that might be one of my favorite ones we've had.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I like that one.
I thought she was going down the memorabilia train and you were going to sign off on that. Like, yeah, that's why it's dumb. You always throw it away.
It is dumb. Trash in your house, man.
We
It's
got
just
one more?
junk in your house.
We got one more?
We've got like yeah, but they're too long. We can't play them. They're too long.
You sure?
The love-hate relationship with Brock's pretty good.
That one's
give me
good.
that
All right,
one.
we'll play
I wanna hear
Andy.
this one.
Zane will just
Come on,
have to
Andy.
wait. Here's
the thing. I have a love-hate relationship with Brock Heward. Back in 87 and 91, Mr. Heward himself, Daddy Heward, Puyallup Vikings beat my Snohomish Panthers in the state semi-playoffs.
Happens.
But then, because of the miracle in the desert, I love Brock Heward and the Heward brothers because they all went to UW, except for Luke, but we don't count him. So, the miracle in the desert, I love for Brock Heward again. But just the other day, I was listening to the radio and find out the Puyallup Vikings are back in the playoffs.
Yes.
And they have one player called Lawson Looker. And Brock Heward now I hate again because his son is not throwing the ball to Lawson Looker, and he is robbing us of this opportunity of a Heward to Looker connection once again. So Brock, get out of Colorado and get back to Puyallup. Come on, man.
I hope you know that Brock has been too fancy for Puyallup for decades. That's not a recent problem. That's a
your
decades-long issue.
I could live right next to Dane and Amy Looker.
But you
Yes, I
don't.
could.
You could be at the same yacht club that Kevin thought I was at.
No.
Wait, which one of us got married at a yacht club? Was it? Did I get married? I didn't get married
You
at a
did,
yacht
right?
club. No.
You didn't? The Providence, Rhode Island?
No,
where your
I didn't get
in-laws?
married at a
No?
yacht club. Did you get married
Where
at
they
a
played
yacht
the
club?
Hartford Whalers
Just out of
song?
curiosity,
No?
did you get married at a yacht club?
I did not get married. I got married at Bellevue Presbyterian.
Right,
Thank you
and then
very
where
much.
was the reception?
But don't worry about that.
What do you mean,
It was
don't
all
worry?
over.
I'm a little worried about it. What do you mean it was
at the Teak
all
House.
over?
It was at the Teak House
Yeah?
after it was at the
Was it at
Seattle
a yacht club?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Only one of us got married at a yacht club, Brock Heward. We'll be right back with everything you need to know next on Brock and Salk.
After hitting a flat note in L.A.,
Sam looking, dumps a pass, it's intercepted. That's number 4.
the Seahawks head down yonder to Nashville, looking to get that twang back.
As a team, I think we're in good shape. One loss doesn't define us.
Rocking and rolling their way to another win.
You know, it's about us, how we can get better as a team.
When we do it right, it's all within our wheelhouse.
Seahawks, Titans, Sunday. Kickoff at 10 a.m., pregame at 7. Giddy up.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
I know what your plans are. Salky was talking about his Thanksgiving menu. My turkey arrived. My Cajun smoked turkey arrived yesterday, and hard to believe that, yes, Thanksgiving is just 7 days away. And right after that, we know what happens. Christmas around the corner. So do you or somebody on your wish list want the gift of fitness this time around? Brock Heward here in the Top Fitness Black Friday sales event. It is going on now. You don't have to wait a week. It is going on right now, where you could save up to $1,000 on Inspired gyms and treadmills and True treadmills. You can get free delivery and assembly on Precor treadmills, ellipticals, and exercise bikes too. How about this? You could save up to 50% on last year's display models with Olympic weight bars. Well, they start at $50. And you looking for a little stocking stuffer? They've got gym attachments and accessories 50% off, starting at only $10. So no secret why everyone from personal trainers to pro athletes love my friends at Top Fitness. You can go visit their stores in Tukwila, Linwood, or Bellevue, or see all the Black Friday sales event details right online at topfitness.com. Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Progressive has great customer service, and it's easy to reach us because great and easy is the way to be. Like salads. Great for you, and so easy you can put any group of veggies in a bowl and it's a salad. A full carrot with a head of cabbage? Weird, but still a salad. One radish and a couple of green beans? Also a salad. 14 blueberries, half an onion, and a sunchoke? Odd, yes, but an odd salad. So contact Progressive's customer service by phone, app, or online. It's great and easy, just like salad. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Comcast Business is celebrating the holidays by giving your business the $1,000 holiday bonus when you switch to a gig speed internet package. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 12, a new laptop for the office holiday hero. Or possibility number 108, smart speakers to deck those hallways. Or possibility number 192, new equipment for the new year. Or possibility number 555, Bluetooth holiday lights for office decor. Switch to Comcast Business, designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect, plus advanced cybersecurity, and now get the $1,000 holiday bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 12/14/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Requires qualifying gig package. Other restrictions apply.
At Shane Company, there's no shortcuts, just craftsmanship. Because a friend wants your fine jewelry and dream engagement ring to be nothing short of perfect, no matter the price. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Dave Chappelle, live at Climate Pledge Arena, December 9th, one night only. The comedy legend returns to Seattle. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't wait. Dave Chappelle, Climate Pledge Arena, December 9th. Get your seats today.
Headed outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on SeattleSports.com.
Your new home is now ready. D.R. Horton, America's builder, has new homes that are ready today. With new construction communities throughout the Puget Sound and Central Washington areas and more coming, D.R. Horton has the right home for you. At D.R. Horton, we're still building with more construction, more communities, and more homes available every day. Find your new home, now ready at drhorton.com. That's drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
As a quarterback, you cannot run a winning play with a messy playbook. And most companies' data, well, it's a mess. AI is changing the game, but if your data is scattered, you're stuck on the sidelines. Brock Heward here, and this is where my friends at Marquee Data come in. They get your data in shape, clean, connected, ready to perform, so you can finally put AI to work for your business. Whether sales, finance, or operations, every smart move starts with the right data. So head to mydataqb.com to draw up your game-winning data play today. That's Marquee Data or mydataqb.com.
This is Steve Almond at Pacific Power Batteries. We have a message about charging lithium-ion batteries.
Be very careful. On our website, we show you how to prevent fires or explosions by not using some aftermarket chargers or charging below 32 degrees. New battery, new charger, charge it outside in a sealed container or while you can watch it during the day. Please visit our website, PacificPowerBatteries.com, for more tips to avoid a fire or explosion. Yikes!
The best time of the year is here. Toyotathon. Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton are providing you with the largest savings and the widest selection of inventory on Toyota favorites like Tacomas and Tundras, the Gas RAV4, the Hybrid RAV4, and the Hybrid Camry. It's Toyotathon at TOK and TOR. That's ToyotaofKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com. Whether you're in the north or the south, they got you covered. Get a test drive, meet the wonderful staff, get a new car. It's Toyotathon, people. Come on.
O'Brien. Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Well, time to bounce back from an annoying loss on Sunday, and the Seahawks have exactly what the doctor ordered, a get-right kind of game against Tennessee, one of the worst teams, if not the worst team in the league this year. But like all bad teams, they have some good players who can beat you. Mike McDonald asked about Cam Ward.
You can see why he's number one pick. Probably has more control over the offense than you would initially anticipate going into the week. Incredible arm talent, and he makes a ton of throws and from funky flat like platforms and stuff. So you got to play the whole play through it. And if you start making things up and not handling your assignments through the echo of the whistle, he can definitely make you pay.
Gets rid of it quick. I think that was one of the strengths. I know when I called a few of his games in the Apple Cup, when he went toe-to-toe with Penix all the way to the end of it, he elevates people around him. And I know it's been brutal. It's been rough. Coach has been fired. Interim coach trying to figure out kind of who they are and what they are and all of that. Culturally so very different. But they are dangerous, man. Every NFL team is. You see it every single season. You know, they don't roll over. They play pretty hard defensively. They got an absolute war daddy of their own right in the middle of their defensive line. That'll be nose-to-nose with Anthony Bradford, and we'll see whether it's Christian Haynes or Gray Zabel, who was not able to practice yesterday.
Yeah, we'll see what direction that goes. But I don't know. I've said it from the beginning. I just don't see Gray Zabel playing in this game. Maybe if he's a partial participant today, but if not, Brock, don't you think that's probably it for this week?
Oh, if he's out today, yeah, he's not going to play this week.
So we'll
out
see
Wednesday and Thursday, yeah.
The team may have settled on a running back. They may want to go with Ken Walker a little bit more often. Mike McDonald hinted at it a little bit on Monday and then said more yesterday.
Consistency and great attitude and executing at a high level, all those things. All our backs are, and then I think the productivity on the field, too, in games is really what's driving that decision right now. It's not really anything that he's doing behind the scenes.
All right. Well, so Kenneth Walker, man. Like, I've seen him. Moore's seen him. Sounds like Mike McDonald's seeing him. And it sounds like we're all going to be seeing him a lot more often as the running back getting more carries.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Didn't exactly bring that around very well. ESPN and Major League Baseball yesterday.
You can't do it.
I'm trying. We're doing the best we can. 3-year deal where ESPN's release said that NBC and Peacock, as we knew, would become the new home of Sunday Night Baseball. Wild card round as well. Netflix is going to have the Home Run Derby and a couple of additional games. And then there's this whole idea of what's going to happen with the 6 teams at the local level. Yeah, the 6 teams, Padres, Rockies, Diamondbacks, Guardians, Twins, and yes, Mariners, whose in-market streaming rights are being produced by Major League Baseball. ESPN is going to get those in-market streaming rights. What does that mean? It means that in addition to being on TV, as they will, which we've already talked through, in addition to being on whatever Mariners app you're using now, the $20 a month deal to watch the games, you can also get the games on ESPN app. And that won't start for another year. So this is not about 2026. That's about 2027. So essentially, as of today, Lyle, maybe you've heard of this play. It's mostly much ado about nothing.
It's a good play.
Thanks. A little Shakespeare.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Just a little Shakespeare.
You finished that one off.
Thanks. I did a little better with the Shakespeare. Yeah. I'm better at Shakespeare than I am with who's going to play on Sunday with Kenneth Walker. Very quiet night for sports last night, Brock. Tonight you got Thursday Night Football, Josh Allen against the Texans, but it's...
Man, that C.J. Stroud
concussion.
I
know. It's not good.
That's a bad deal.
Yeah.
It's been like 4 weeks now.
Yeah. I got to play you something ugly, though. This is the Kraken, of course, are going to be in Chicago. They take on Connor Bedard and the Blackhawks. Did you hear this from Bill Simmons talking about NBA expansion? It echoes a lot of what you and I were talking about a few months ago. And unfortunately, it's not good news for Seattle.
Unfortunately, we're not getting expansion. Although, there is some Vegas buzz building again. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that the league adds one more team, not two, that they have 31 teams, and that they jump on this Vegas market while there's like a real opportunity and real money behind it and a lot of groups and a lot of interest. And the price would have to be, my guess, what I've been told, is somewhere between $7 and $8 billion. At least $7, because that's what, it's basically what the Celtics got when you put in all the other stuff, all the puts the minority owners had. That would mean 30 times 250. Every team gets $250 million cash. They don't have to share it with the players. Just money into their pockets. And they'd be sacrificing going from a 1/30th media right to a 1/31st media right. But they'd be getting this $250 million up front. And if you think about it, how long are you going to own an NBA team? It's weird. The expansion was dead. I think they moved toward this NBA Europe thing. But there's some Vegas buzz again. I'm just telling you.
So essentially saying Seattle's dead, and it's not because of the league. It's
Ned is dead.
Huh?
Ned is dead.
Ned?
Never mind.
Who's Ned?
I don't know.
I know what you're talking about. Do you mean
Wasn't
Zed's
that-
dead?
Oh, Zed.
You trying to go Pulp Fiction?
I was trying to go.
You got to get the right name. That's everything you need to know. 1:15 every hour. Jeez.
Yeah, maybe it's going to be not an expansion, but maybe, I don't know. Maybe look at some of the markets that are horrific in the NBA. Like, I don't know, New Orleans, where nobody goes to Smoothie King Arena. I don't know. I mean, we've seen that end of it before, but slicing that pie 32 way, you do the math, this number here, unfortunately we got a real miss.
Yeah.
As Buster Olney said, man, like it's something to come up to Seattle. It's some kind of market, and this is some kind of basketball market. It is some kind of baseball market. It really is. You know, I think those things are real, but it all comes down to dollars and cents and not in the favor right now of expansion in Seattle.
Yeah, I think we were hoping that it was going to go this way, but it does. Again, what I hear there is that it's not an NBA issue. It's a who's going to own it issue, and the people that were interested in that maybe aren't seeing the same level of value at that level of investment as they were earlier. All right, Daryl Moose Johnston going to join us next. He's got the game on Sunday for Fox along with Kevin Kugler. And, I mean, not only can we talk fullbacks with him. We finally got somebody to talk fullbacks with. Not just Mike Robb. We're going to go back in the old school machine with Moose next on Brock and Salk.
Hawks Live.
This should be fun.
Presented by the Dining District at the Bellevue Collection. Tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Live from Bellevue Square Center Court. Come on by and join hosts Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer. With this week's guest, Seahawks wide receiver Rashid Shaheed. Touchdown! Hawks Live. Tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Yeah, it's a good time to talk about what this season can do to you. It can be dark and dank and depressed and cold. And did I mention dark? Let's say it again. Rainy, wet. All those real external factors can really impact your mindset, health, and weight if you let it. It's why I need help, and you may as well. Eastside Weight Loss Clinic has been tremendous for this. They want to help, and they really can. Help me lose 35 pounds in the span of just 8 weeks, and that could be you as well, even through the holidays, even through Thanksgiving, even through Christmas and New Year's. It is a plan that can work with your lifestyle, and you can lose 10 to 20% of your body weight in about 8 weeks without injections, which are expensive, without any uncomfortable side effects or anything like that, and then keep it off long term. It starts with just a 15-minute phone call. Schedule yours right now at eastsideweightloscclinic.com. And yeah, over $300 off normal pricing through December 31st. How about that? Go to eastsideweightloscclinic.com. Dr. Ryan Coogan, DC. Results may vary.
I go to Starbucks every day. They introduced the app a number of years ago. I was a very early adopter to mobile ordering with their app. I don't need the cashier experience. I don't need standing in line. I can bypass all of that. That's an efficiency for me. Customers want the same thing. We video inspect all of our cars when they come in for a service appointment. So when we're doing a maintenance visit here, we do a video inspection of your vehicle. The technician shows you what your tires are at, what your brakes are at, what your filters are at. That's what we're sending to people. They open it, they look at it. We generally give them 3 choices. Hey, you can do the minimum, do something in the middle, or do it all. They're in a meeting, but we've met them where they want to be met for quick and efficiency. And that's meeting a lot of new tech customers, but also just transparency, because they can see that video inspection.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app.
With football season comes colder weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here with Keith Dashafee from locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. So Keith, what's your next big play?
Well, Steve, right now get 40% off qualifying installs or no payments and no interest for 12 months on approved credit.
Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
The best time of the year is here. Toyotathon. Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton are providing you with the largest savings and the widest selection of inventory on Toyota favorites like Tacomas and Tundras, the Gas RAV4, the Hybrid RAV4, and the Hybrid Camry. It's Toyotathon at TOK and TOR. That's ToyotaofKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com. Whether you're in the north or the south, they got you covered. Get a test drive, meet the wonderful staff, get a new car. It's Toyotathon, people. Come on.
O'Brien. Comcast Business is celebrating the holidays by giving your business the $1,000 holiday bonus when you switch to a gig speed internet package. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 12, a new laptop for the office holiday hero. Or possibility number 108, smart speakers to deck those hallways. Or possibility number 192, new equipment for the new year. Or possibility number 555, Bluetooth holiday lights for office decor. Switch to Comcast Business, designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect, plus advanced cybersecurity, and now get the $1,000 holiday bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 12/14/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Requires qualifying gig package. Other restrictions apply.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Sunday, 10 a.m. The Seahawks will be in Tennessee, of course, to take on the Titans. It'll be on Fox. Kevin Kugler and Daryl Moose Johnston will be on the call, and Moose is kind enough to join us right now. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Well, I'm excited to talk a little fullback action, Brock. I think you know how much I love talking to fullbacks, being the high school football fullback I was. I wasn't quite at Moose's level, but
what were you, 5'9", 168 in high school?
5'10", 168. Yeah,
5'10", 168.
I think playing fullback was hard. Moose, I don't know how you figured that out. Blocking people while you're running is very hard.
Yeah. There's definitely a learning process that goes along with it, and I would banter back and forth with my running back coach all the time that, don't expect perfect technique the way that you want it drawn up and the way that you envision it. The most important thing is to create a running lane. So as long as we understand that I'll work within the parameters to get that done, we're going to be good. But yeah, it is. And it's 6'2". I think at 5'10", you probably had a little bit of an advantage on me because it's the pad level thing. It's the ability to get down. Thank God the Lord blessed me with a short legs. I'm a long torso guy, so even at 6'2", I don't have long legs.
Who do you think in today's game, where there are not as many fullbacks, and we're excited that there is one now in Seattle, and we can ask you about Robbie Oots, who do you think coaches the fullback to block? Is it a running backs coach who also needs to coach the blocking element of it? Is it a offensive line or tight ends coach who needs to teach him how to block on the run? Like, who teaches what must be a very unique type of blocking?
Yeah, I think that's the hardest part about the position today is the number of different positions that the fullback ends up in, and it really is a different style of blocking. So for me, I had to work really hard at the tight end position, whether it was end of line or even just wing, because that's a very different style. There's a lot of hand placement, leverage. It's very technique based, where out of the backfield, it's more, are you ready for the physicality of the collision? And it becomes more of a mentality thing. So I think it has to be tackled in today's game, in multiple ways. You would have to have your running back coach to be able to to teach when you're going to be attacking a defender with space in between you, and then you'd have to have a tight ends coach to work with the guys, when you're on the line of scrimmage, off the line of scrimmage, wing, because that short space blocking is very different.
Isn't this refreshing? I mean, 4 minutes on fullbacks. We haven't even had to mention Sam Darnold or the interceptions or anything else.
By the way, I could do like 10 more minutes on. I have so many more fullback questions. Like,
Moose, have you seen Oots' legs? Are you prepared?
Oh my God!
For
yeah,
Armageddon?
Today's fullback is very different than the '90s. I would say the closest guy to what today's fullback was, and this is not saying that Lorenzo looks like these guys, but I think Lorenzo was kind of the biggest of the bunch back then. Mm-hmm. And really through that decade of the 90s and everything that Lorenzo did was phenomenal. I mean, to play 16 years at the fullback position is absolutely unbelievable. At year 11, I couldn't imagine going 5 more.
How about 14 years for Larry Centers?
Yeah, he was a different guy though. He was not a thumper. He was he wasn't
short
way
in
up there.
Salk,
I mean, we've come across
right?
a couple of pass receiving things, having San Francisco the last few games with Christian McCaffrey, and Larry Centers is the guy that Christian's chasing, historically in a lot of those categories.
Well, as you watch this Seahawk crew, tight ends, fullbacks, under center, does this give you some flashbacks to the 90s and the 2000s? I know for me, watching some of the West Coast principals under center is kind of fun. As you watch this crew, does it turn back the clock a little bit?
It really does, Brock. It's fun. I think it probably started about 3 years ago. For a while there, the fullback had kind of lost his way, and the running back was an undervalued commodity. And all of a sudden, there's been a shift in the perception by staffs around the NFL, and we're starting to see more fullbacks being utilized. What I'd love to see is this start to grow at the collegiate level and the high school level, because for me it is a hard position to play, and there is technique that goes along with it, with that mentality that we talked about. So, converting defensive linemen, just the conversion factor is frustrating for me, because I'd love to see the position kind of more steady throughout the lower levels of football. But I really have enjoyed, the NFL over the last few years, and I love when a team like Seattle comes in and really has that old school element to it, but then has the success along with it. You can have that as part of your offensive package, and some of the things that you're doing, from week to week. But if you're not having the success, week in and week out like Seattle is, it kind of takes away from the merit of kind of going that way. But yeah, I've really enjoyed watching the film this week. It's been fun.
Yeah. So what is it that jumps out when you watch the Seahawks? What do you like about it?
I think probably, the big question will be that offensive line to go 9 games and have that same starting 5. That's the most important thing. Those 5 guys up front, and when they can stay healthy, that's a huge deal. because you're growing together. I mean, you can practice in training camp and do your drills at practices and things like that. But once you get into the games and you really start to understand how each other work together to kind of create that seamless five across the front, that is huge. So, you know, a little bit of a bump in the road the last 2 weeks with some of the guys going out. So, you know, that'll be a challenge, how well they do there. You could see Kenneth Walker really starting to kind of hit his stride a little bit. I actually really like the combination of Kenneth and Zach Charbonnet together. I think that running back by committee is something that's very different than when I played, but I think it's necessary in today's game because you want both of those guys as physically healthy as they possibly can be when you get to December, January, February playing football. So, you know, that's been great. AJ Barner is a guy you know, Brock and I got to visit earlier in the week, and, you know, it was one of the things that we talked about. You know, the tight end is such a huge position in the NFL today, and we're really celebrating a bunch of these guys that are really kind of revolutionizing the position. You know, when you have a Travis Kelce that's kind of leading the way, and a George Kittle and a Trey McBride in Arizona, you know, why hasn't A.J. Barner, you know, started to get a little bit more notice around the NFL? You know, it was really, for me, my first time getting to see him and really not, you know, reflecting back and not really hearing a lot of people talk about him. And I was really impressed. You know, he's kind of one of those old school guys that's good in the passing game, but he's got a little bit of that nasty to him and that grit to him for the run game as well.
Have you guys and your crew with Allison and Cougs and yourself, have you guys seen the Titans this year?
We have. They've crossed over with us on film. We haven't done them specifically, but we did dip into the AFC South a little bit, and we got some crossover there. And, you know, so we've seen you know, what they were like in the beginning of the season under Coach Callahan. Now we see the transition to Coach McCoy. So it's one of those seasons. It's tough. We spoke with Coach Denard. We had him a couple of times last year, and I really enjoyed him. The one thing I will say is the, you know, this group is, we had Arizona, and Arizona was talking about their run game struggling. And so I went back and looked at all their opponents, and they had legitimacy there. They were going up against some good fronts. And then there was Tennessee. And if you look at them from a record standpoint, you're like, well, how could they have a good front? But then when you watch the film and you see the guys that are there, and that's without Draymond Jones, you know, that was one of the things I went back a little bit this week and getting ready for him and kind of pick some games that I thought I wanted to see to get a better feel for him. And, you know, 45 kept popping up, and then you know, trying to find out, you know, who's this guy 45. But, you know, that was Draymond Jones, who actually, you know, ended up getting traded to Baltimore at the trade deadline. So he's not there anymore. And that's a good thing for any Titans opponents, because he really shored up that opposite edge away from Arden Key.
Did you happen to hear what Draymond Jones said on the way out the door? I thought it was really, I guess he tweeted it, he didn't say it, but it kind of jumped out to me that he went out of his way after being traded to say, hey, Tennessee, be patient with Cam Ward. This guy's the truth. And you don't need to say that on the way out the door. That's not just, you know, the typical athlete cliche. It struck me that he must really mean it, that there is something brewing with Cam Ward that we just don't see yet because of either what's around him or just how long it takes to kind of get all of that going in the NFL these days.
Well, it's so important, you know, that quarterback position, and I'm sure there's frustration. There was a little bit of frustration vocalized this week with the loss to Houston. You know, you have an opportunity to get the Houston Texans without C.J. Stroud, and you got to take advantage of that. So, you know, they weren't unable to do that, and there's a little bit of frustration there. But I think the one thing that they can always hold on to right now is, you know, they should have the potential to have a guy who can be their leader moving forward. So now you've opened up that window, right? You've opened up that 4 to 5 year window where you've got your franchise quarterback on his rookie contract, and you can start to add the pieces around him. So I think for the guys that expressed a little bit of frustration, it kind of backs up what Draymond said walking out the door is, hey, we've got a guy here. We got to stop wasting these games from week to week, because we've only got 4 more years to make a run with this guy in his rookie contract. And that's been a big adjustment for me, that whole windows concept, when you get that quarterback on the rookie contract, you know, seeing what Washington was trying to do this year with Jaden Daniels, and knowing that they've got that, what Ben Johnson will do in Chicago with the strides that Caleb Williams has made this year. So when you get those moments, you got to maximize them.
Moose Johnston here with us. He'll be on the call with Kevin Kugler and Allison Williams. They're in Nashville Sunday morning, Seattle time. This will be also your first chance, as I understand it, to sit with Mike McDonald. That you've not had the Seahawks all of last season or this year. What are you looking forward to? What are you expecting?
He's kind of built. Like a fullback, Brock. I think there may be some love there.
I think he was a fullback.
I usually get more love from defensive-minded head coaches than offensive-minded head coaches. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to hit it off. I think that, for me, I'm always intrigued, especially with a first-time head coach, just who the influences are in your career and who are some of the people that you really appreciate the time that they spent with you and everything they did with you. So those will be some of the areas, kind of, maybe setting a foundation for storytelling or just a little bit more understanding of the journey that he's had to this point and what we can expect moving forward. I remember talking to Jason Garrett about it, and Jason was, got his head coach opportunity, and you go back and you're like, okay, how do you create your offense and everything there, based on your experiences, because you got to work with North Turner and Ernie Zampese and John Gruden and Sean Payton, and you've been around a lot of great offensive lines, and how do you pull all that together? So that'll be one thing, just having an opportunity to work with both the Harbaughs, and I think Baltimore is one of the more well-run organizations in the NFL. The consistency that they've been able to generate has been very impressive. And just what do you take from that culture? Because when you get this opportunity and you start to build this, it has to be done correctly from day one. There's key principles that have to be put in place. Some of the things that you don't have a lot of leeway with, and those have to be understood and put in place right away from day one, and then they have to be the standard moving forward. So, what are some of the things that are kind of non-negotiables for you as you build this team?
Well, we talk about the offense there for a while, and we talked about the fullback and the way it's changed and all that. But I think the real gem of what we've seen here is this defense, and that's kind of what it's built around. As you watch the tape and start to get ready for the game, what do you see from the Seahawks defense?
Yeah, I just think it's amazing how they're able to generate the pressure they do with just the four. And, there's a number of defenses around the league that do this. They do it a little bit differently than Seattle does. When you look at what Brian Flores is doing in Minnesota, what Vance Joseph is doing in Denver, you get the walkabout look, it's not in the 3-4 structure. It's not in the 4-3 structure. You're really kind of challenging. You've got defensive linemen off the ball. You've got linebackers and safeties on the ball, designation for who's going to pick somebody up, and just challenging the rules of the offense. And this one so far, because we've had Denver and we've had Minnesota, this one seems to give offense fits more than the other two did. And those are two very good defenses as well when you talk about the ability to generate pressure without bringing, 5 or 6 guys. So, that's been the really impressive thing to me. And then you just have to look at the names on the defensive line and you're like, oh, okay, that makes a little bit more sense now. But I've been really impressed with Byron Murphy, with the start to his career here at a young age. Leonard Williams is everybody knows Leonard. The thing that impresses me is him making plays, 15, 20, 25 yards downfield, still has that hustle element. DeMarcus Lawrence, I know well from his time here in Dallas, and not only a good player, but a very good leader as well. I guarantee you that he's really appreciating the environment and the culture that he's allowed to work in Seattle, because I know that was one of the things that was frustrating to him here in Dallas.
Can you tell me a little bit more about him? We've gotten to watch him obviously from afar, and he is a man. I mean, he has man strength, and he just blows plays up. But I don't know, at this stage of the career, when they signed him, I think there was a lot of fear, myself included, of this feels like kind of a back end of the career signing, and maybe he's slipping, and he doesn't get to the quarterback. He's lost a step. And from what I can tell, that doesn't seem to be the case at all. What do you know about DeMarcus Lawrence?
Yeah, just one of the guys that everybody in Dallas respected. He was going to be part of the vocal group that spoke for the team, and when he said things that were meaningful and they were logical. So you've got somebody who's got a ton of experience, and
As you're building a defense and you're trying, it's the same at every position, right? You've got to go through the experiences, the ups and downs of playing the game at the NFL level. It's very different. And, to have older guys that have gone through that process and to be able to lean on them, DeMarcus is going to be one of those great guys that's going to be able to share a lot. And that's one of the things that I love is when you see, the older guys, really sharing with the younger guys to accelerate their growth. Because, it is hard. The speed of the game is hard to explain to people. The physicality of the game is hard to explain to people. And when you have somebody like that can give you the ins and outs of some of the tricks of the trade, especially somebody that's had a long career, those are people you want to talk to because that's a physical position that he's played at a high level for a long time. And that's not easy to do. So you definitely want to weigh in there and get as much information. But you got somebody, to your point, where I think a lot of people maybe felt from a production standpoint was nearing the end. But from a leadership and a mentorship, that's going to be a huge part of what he's going to bring here. And then you see how productive he is on the field still. And I always, everybody talked about him as the edge guy. And you always think about pass rusher there. I was always impressed with the way that he played the run. That was always the thing that really jumped out to me about DeMarcus. And he always seemed to have that guy on the opposite side, kind of was a really good pairing with him. But yeah, he's a heck of a player and a heck of a guy to have in your locker room.
Salk, you remember Baldy last week talking about Reggie White getting on the scale and like he would get off the scale as it was still ascending? I'm curious if you had that industrial scale and you put the shoulder pads of D. Law, Leonard Williams, Murphy, Chenna, those four guys, weight of today's shoulder pads versus Moose's shoulder pads back in the 80s and 90s. Oof. I think Moose's may weigh more than those four combined. What say you, Moose?
I don't know how they play today's game in that position. And for me, I would use that to my advantage. So if you're going to cut your jersey up above, the kind of the upper arm, and you're going to expose that, my face mask is probably going to hit that multiple times during the course of the game, accidentally. Not intentionally, but right, I'm gonna make that swim move harder and harder for you to do, to help out my offensive linemen. And I will definitely, on every release, you will get a chip, whether my coach wants me to or not, or whether the offensive linemen want me to or not. As long as it doesn't slow me down on my release.
Whether you want to or not, Moose, the size of the shoulder pads, sometimes you couldn't help it.
Right. It just accidentally would brush against it.
Yes. Those were big.
Somebody told me, I did a little skit with a guy. Somebody came in. It was not what they do today with the Cartoon Network and all the things that we have there, but they did a thing supposedly. I don't know if this was league-wide or just on our team, but if you gave me a pad and you could explain to me how this was going to help me, I would wear it. So at a certain point in my career, I think I had the heaviest game day amount of equipment that was in the league. So
have you seen Abe Lucas? He's wearing an old cowboy collar.
Yeah, he's got an old neck roll.
Those. I mean, I tell you, in those things, there's a new one out. There's a Cato collar out that's really good. We had a guy in spring football with this that has a really good device that he's trying to get some traction on. That's an area. I mean, you remember the foam things that we used to use back in the day. I got a few football cards, that come out from, when I was playing in 89 and 90, and we're in that silly foam thing that doesn't really do a whole lot. Yeah, when we got to that cowboy collar, and that really kind of took some technology and really improved that. And now it's even better. And yeah, those things are fantastic because they reduce the distance that the head can move. So it's more for the head than it is for the neck itself, because it helps, the reduction of anything you from a prevention of concussions, you're reducing the amount of rotation and you're reducing the amount of linear movement that happens on the collision, which is huge, for trying to prevent those concussions from happening on the field.
Did you ever think about wearing that piece of wood that Brian Cox would wear behind his neck?
The 2x4.
No, I didn't like that one. I didn't like the kind of the funky little rectangle in the back.
Yeah. You never wanted to go just a big piece of wood?
For me, it would be like, how many times during the course of the game are we going to meet helmet to helmet where my head is going to go straight back?
Right.
Mine was, it's going to go off to the side. It's going to go at a 45-degree angle. I mean, to me, it seemed like that thing, helps you on one or two hits maybe during the course of the game.
You were drafted in the second round as a fullback. Were you drafted as a fullback in the second round? I mean, talk about how the game has changed. You were drafted in the second round as a fullback?
Oh, he was a runner.
Or were you more of a runner?
Oh, yeah. He could tote that.
Yeah, I was an option fullback at Syracuse. So I had over 100 carries, my 3 years as a starter. So when I left Syracuse, I was in the top 10 in rushing yards in 1989. So, yeah, I got a lot of carries. The big question for me coming out of college was a receiver, which was funny because, Brock knows we all grow up playing football in the backyards as kids. So everybody learns how to catch,
right.
When you're 8, 9, 10 years old. So I was always confident in my hands, but I didn't have a lot of opportunity at school. So I didn't have a lot of catches, but I did have a good yards per catch average. And then the biggest thing was pass protection because we didn't have a lot of that just, blocking the off-ball linebacker coming on a blitz, blocking a walk-up outside linebacker coming off the edge. So that was the big thing that people wanted to see. And it was really fortunate for me, that when I went to the Senior Bowl, I only had to go. I can't remember. I go blank on his name. Brock will be able to help me here. Derek from Alabama, the Hall of Famer who we lost far too early.
Derek
Thomas.
Yep.
Derek Thomas was going to be my measuring stick, which I felt was unfair because I thought he should get a measuring stick for the tackles and not for the running backs.
Yes.
But yeah, that was my task at the Senior Bowl.
One of 5 Hall of Famers drafted before you that year. How about that? How about the beginning of that 89 draft?
I tell everybody, go back and look at that 1989 first-round draft.
Troy Aikman and then, sadly, Tony Mandarich. But then Barry Sanders, Derek Thomas, Deion Sanders all in a row, and Steve Atwater at number 20 to Denver. What an unbelievable draft. That's crazy. Wow. Hey, Moose, thank you. Thanks for being with us today, and looking forward to hearing you on the call along with Kugler, who I love. I think he's great. And Allison,
Kevin's fantastic. And Allison's a gem. She is so good. I am so happy that Fox has brought her into our family and that we're the group that gets to work with her. She's been outstanding.
That's awesome. All right, we're looking forward to it. Thank you very much. We appreciate all the time, and we'll do it again.
You got it, Brock. Always great to visit with you.
All right, there you go. The great Daryl Moose Johnston, Brock, and that was pretty fun. I love talking to the guys from the 90s. I just can't help it. Yes. 509 says, Salk, that wasn't a 2x4 Brian Cox had. It was a full Honda Civic headrest. Yeah, it did kind of have that effect. That's a good way of looking at it. All right, Maura's going to take us around the NFL, but she needs help. She needs fantasy forecast questions, and I told her I would submit or ask for them earlier, and then I forgot, and I'm sorry, Maura. So if you guys have time, please send Maura your fantasy forecast questions so she can answer them at 9:45. Text them to 866-979-3776, 866-979-3776. I'm sorry I forgot to do that earlier. Please don't make me look bad because then Maura won't find us all the great
now it's more that if I give bad advice, it's because you didn't give me enough time.
Oh, good. All right. Well, yes. You can blame me if it all goes kaput, but please send Maura some questions, and we'll be right back on Brock and Salk.
After hitting a flat note in L.A.,
Sam looking, dumps a pass, it's intercepted. That's number 4.
The Seahawks head down yonder to Nashville, looking to get that twang back.
As a team, I think we're in good shape. One loss doesn't define us.
Rocking and rolling their way to another win.
It's about us, how we can get better as a team.
When we do it right, it's all within our wheelhouse.
Seahawks, Titans, Sunday. Kickoff at 10 a.m., pregame at 7. Giddy up.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Your time is money, so stop wasting it in I-5 gridlock. Seaport Airlines offers high-frequency commuter shuttle service from Seattle's Boeing Field to Portland. Get there faster, without the hassles. Seaport Airlines, it's about time.
Stacey Rost here from Seattle Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of. And then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, prescriptions. But imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate, noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle, yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target problem areas: waistline, face, neck, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. done. For your free consultation and $250 off, visit ProSculpt.com. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's ProSculpt.com.
Every jersey tells a story.
So many people dressed in Seahawks blue.
From unforgettable touchdowns.
Touchdown, Seahawks! Jackson Smith-Njigba, Johnny on the spot.
To game-changing hits.
He gets hitting it. Leonard Williams drags him down.
To memorable catches.
Jordan dropping back to pass in the end zone to Larkin. Touchdown, Seahawks!
History lives in every thread. Shop official Seahawks jerseys in-store at Lumen Field, The Landing in Renton, or online at Seahawks.com/ProShop.
Dave Chappelle live at Climate Pledge Arena December 9th, one night only. The comedy legend returns to Seattle. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't wait. Dave Chappelle Climate Pledge Arena December 9th. Get your seats today.
This year's ratings of the best TVs just got published, and Samsung, LG, and Sony scored the highest. Also, they warned about the poor performance of the bargain brands promoted at some stores. So where can you get the best deal on the top-rated TVs? At the club? Online? Nope. At Video Only. They've got their better than Black Friday deals on right now. Don't be sorry. Check out Video Only before you buy.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Hey, Mike Salk here for my friends at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. And obviously, New Year's is coming up. Can you believe it? Book your stay at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel for an evening of elegance at a night at the Grand Ball. This New Year's Eve celebration includes the legendary DJ Super Sam. And sports fans, you got to check out the Hawks Peak. You're home for game days with great food and drinks, more than 60 TVs, so you won't miss a play, and a heated, covered outdoor deck with those great views of the Snoqualmie Valley. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Get his freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
I don't read the internet, guys.
Take the bull by the hands.
And Brooke, you are. And Brooke, you are.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Eward and Mike Salk.
All right, fantasy forecast at 9:45. Maura is going to dominate for you for your fantasy week. Are we coming up to playoffs for fantasy soon? Aren't we getting kind of close to
17-week season?
Until,
We still
like,
got, yeah.
It depends on your league, but like 1 or 2 games before the end of the real season.
Oh, it's
still got a month or so.
Okay.
So still got a month.
All right. You know what? Don't.
I'll tell you this. Daryl talking about the physical nature of today's game.
Yeah.
And I know I poke fun a lot at the offseason and the lack of callousing and the lack of hitting. My gosh. I was just looking at some of these red zone clips, tight red zone in the run game versus the Rams. Just violence.
Yeah.
I mean, it is so, when you really watch the coach's tape, it gives you a chance to see just how violent that game still very much is.
Well, we're going to go around that violent game right now. We don't have a lot of time, so Moore's going to take us quickly through a whole bunch of great NFL stories. We'll go around the NFL.
Good job, Lau. Hit that button right on time. Oh. And he crushed your 15-plus presidents, by the way. Crushed it.
I know.
Did you get to 25?
27.
27 presidents. Wow.
Well done.
We'll figure out what that looks like at 9:30. All right, Moore, what do we got?
Pete Carroll stood by his quarterback Tuesday, telling reporters, "I continue to really believe in him. I have no hesitation in telling you that." But with the team struggling, Rich Eisen wonders if Tom Brady is going to need to decide if someone has to go in the near future.
It's not working right now. Nothing's working. And the problem is, Geno, is he the quarterback of the future? That's the tough thing, is when you have 2 wins entering week 12 and your quarterback of the future is most likely not on the roster. And and it's laudatory that you've got a coach who's taking the credit because he's trying to protect the quarterback, who's taking the blame because he wants to protect the coach. That's all admirable. But when it comes down to it, what does Tom Brady think of it? I mean, does Tom think that Pete's the voice in the room that needs to be in the room? Would Tom dare to one and done Pete Carroll? Or you got to let him put his historically winning culture change approach to work? Or does Pete just say, yeah, Chip, it's not working out here. We got to go do something else?
I think Chip's going to be the first guy to take the fall there. And if I'm Tom, that's probably where I would start.
You know what Chip Kelly's making as offense coordinator of the Vegas Raiders? Take a wild guess.
$4.5 million.
North.
$6.5 million.
Yeah.
Sheesh. It's a good gig if you can get it.
And they're so bad.
It's a good gig if
that
you
old
can get
line.
it.
That old line is so
By the way, is Tom he's now the essentially GM of the Raiders?
I mean, I think once they set everything up, Mark Davis just kind of said, like, he can do whatever he wants.
If that's the
well,
case,
Spytek is his old teammate. The GM was his old teammate in Michigan.
But like this, well, Tom Brady's just the guy who does it. Then let's dispense with him continuing to call games. Why not just have John Lynch still call games?
Sure.
That's absurd.
Right. Aaron Rodgers suffered a fracture in his non-throwing wrist Sunday and was replaced by Mason Rudolph in the second quarter of the Steelers' win over the Bengals. But apparently he still wants to play this weekend, and Mike Tomlin is leaving open that possibility.
Really, it's just about bracing it and securing it for his comfort and safety. And then it's about how functional he is. Friday's probably a big day in terms of some of those things. I know he's working his tail off to be a component of this week. He and I talked yesterday. He expressed that directly. I'm of the mindset of supporting that.
Speaking of old school 90s, Salk, 80s, 90s, before Lyle was born, and the Brian Cox Honda Accord neck roll, that's pretty good. Do you remember the great Steve DeBerg playing late in the year with a cast on his throwing hand? He broke his outside of his throwing hand, his pinky. And he had this huge cast that he wore on his throwing hand and still played the game. It was the most absurd-looking cast you've ever seen in your life. But yeah, man, just cast it up and go play.
No problem. Yeah, just go do
and
it.
This isn't even his throwing wrist.
So
It's
how
left
much
wrist.
do you think if Mason Rudolph hadn't played well, you think that he'd be rushing to come back this weekend?
I don't know.
I'm going to guess that those two things are related. Just a thought.
I mean, they did fine, actually.
I know.
Because they were just playing the Bengals.
Well, that's kind of what I mean. Like, if he had played worse.
Who they got this
Well,
week?
Rodgers was talking
the
about the
Steelers play this
Bears
week?
and how much he loves. He acts like it's this big rivalry, but he just loves
Oh, is it the Bears this
dominating
week?
them. Yeah.
Oh,
So he wants to. He likes facing the Bears.
Did you see their 400-pound tight end swatting people away, by the way? Stiff-arming folks?
No.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, those were some rag dolls.
I'll have to go look at that. Nice.
But I mean, he's what, 6'7", something?
Oh, he's 6'8". He's
like
probably
6'7"?
350 pounds.
Oh gosh.
Sorry. I live with an 11 and 13-year-old. What do you want in my life?
I know, but when you do it,
I can't help it. It's like constant.
But when I do it on my Xfinity reads, it's a home.
No, we came into a text this morning about how it's
Oh,
cringy.
it's so good. No, it's so good.
More, I'm telling you, once you live with a couple of kids of that age, you can't help it.
No, we came into a text this morning about you saying that in your ad, Brock.
I crushed it.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
crushed
They were
that
uncomfortable with it.
6'7".
All right. We know that A.J. Brown has repeatedly voiced his displeasure with his role in Philadelphia's offense, but Diana Rossini is now reporting that other offensive players are unhappy with quarterback Jalen Hurts, saying multiple players on offense are reportedly frustrated with Hurts' approach this year against zone coverage and his reluctancy to throw the ball into tight windows or downfield.
Hey, can I ask you a question more? Can I cut you off and ask you a question? Just because you know my memory is not great. Did Philadelphia win the Super Bowl last year?
Yes.
Could somebody tell these guys to shut up?
Was he the MVP of the Super Bowl?
Shut up. Just shut up.
They can't.
Now, here's the only problem with my comment.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I used to say about all the Russell Wilson guys here.
That's right.
Yeah,
and now I'm
where
worried
there's
that like
smoke,
there's
there's
actually
fire,
some
right? Like
smoke.
there's a
Yes.
reason that
I know.
and honestly, this is more on the field complaints, I think, than
Correct.
anything. But this is what
know.
Jalen Hurts had to say.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised by anything. I mean, this is kind of the nature of the position, like I said. But, I put my energy and I put my focus on trying to go out there and do my best and trying to learn, trying to build, trying to take in the things that I can to improve. And so, I've said this before about winning and success and all those things. Like, that doesn't do you anything in the present. It's only an experience that you can lean on as you go forward. And so, you lean on all those successes. You lean on all the trials. You lean on all the different things that you've experienced. You use them. Ultimately, it's about how you navigate what's in front of you and how you respond to these things. And so I think the response is more important than anything.
I think there's two things going on. I think when Moose says Baltimore is one of the most revered organizations, respected, it is. It is. From the top down, from owner to GM, stability, Ozzie Newsome, everything, Philadelphia's right there. With what they've got from an ownership level, with how he's done at the GM level. Like, I think Jalen fell into, as a second-round pick, an ideal situation. Elite defense, great O-line, run the ball, and he doesn't have to do much. And the second part of that is that selectively aggressive. He is very rarely aggressive. So, unfortunately, those receivers, their livelihood is based on what, Saul? Get me my touches in many ways. I mean, I need my numbers. How do I get to Pro Bowls? How do I hit my bonuses? How do I get to become an All-Pro? Do I get that with 5 throws and check down? Like, I don't get my touches. So,
But I don't feel like that's a Jalen Hurts problem.
Oh, he doesn't push the ball down the field very much.
Yeah, he doesn't need to. They got a great defense. He does
That's
what
right.
the situation calls for.
That's exactly right.
Which is why I do think those guys could shut up.
They do find a way to keep winning, and you have to give them credit for that. But there is kind of a sense of like they could have lost a lot of those games. We'll see how it goes down the stretch.
I don't know. This may be a good cause for
He
the
plays to
for the
win. He doesn't
Graz.
play for numbers.
Right. So
Yes.
shut up. I don't know. I really like Jalen Hurts. I think those guys should shut up.
It's another challenge paying guys $30 million a year to play
True.
receiver.
It's true. You got one more, or are we done?
I guess we
She
can-
done. She done. She
We're
done
running.
with us.
We're running up against the clock
Yeah,
here.
all
I was going to
right,
talk
we're
about
up
Joe.
against
Joe Burrow wants to come back, and the Bengals are in kind of a conundrum because they're pretty much out of it.
Kind of. If I think if they were in any other division, they would be out of it in the
They're
NFC West.
3-7.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good. You don't want to be 3-7. That's not a good number.
So
All
I
right.
don't see the Bengals having much motivation to bring him back, but he's making it known that he wants to be back.
Okay.
You know we got 6-7 weeks left.
I'm going to get killed for this, but
Yeah, don't do this. Don't. Joe
Joe
Here we
Burrow.
go.
Joe
Yeah.
Burrow, he bores me.
No, I agree with you. I watched that Netflix documentary, and G and I were
bores
talking
me.
about how the other two guys were kind of endearing. He was just there.
Yeah, I don't get excited about watching him. I don't get excited about talking about him. Look, I'm not a doctor, and I never have been. But other than that, I'm just not that interested in Joe Burrow.
I like
So there
watching
you
him
go.
play, but yeah.
No, I don't even really like watching him play that much. That is.
You don't watch college football. You didn't watch that LSU season.
No, I didn't, and I don't. But that's because I'm not beholden to some season he had 10 years ago or whatever it was. All right, Moore's got the fantasy forecast coming up at 9:45. More questions coming in at 866-979-3776. Got to give you guys everything you need to know next. It's Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
after hitting a flat note in L.A.
Sam looking, dumps a pass, it's intercepted. That's number 4.
The Seahawks head down yonder to Nashville, looking to get that twang back.
As a team, we're in good shape. One loss doesn't define us.
Rocking and rolling their way to another win.
You know, it's about us, how we can get better as a team.
When we do it right, it's all within our wheelhouse.
Seahawks, Titans, Sunday. Kickoff at 10 a.m., pregame at 7. Giddy up.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
When you're at home and next to your windows, do you notice cold air or a draft when the wind blows? How about moisture or leaking during a rainstorm? Dave Wyman here, and after 20 years in our home, our window seals started breaking. A failed window can do major damage to your home, and the older the window, the more likely it is to fail. That's why right now is an excellent time to have Harley Exteriors come by for a no-charge consultation. That's exactly what I had done over the summer, and not only were they extremely knowledgeable about all things windows, I found them to be polite, professional, and respectful. In other words, people you want to do business with. Harley Exteriors has a special offer for Seattle sports fans. Buy 3 windows, get 1 free. No payments or interest until 2027. And take an additional $200 off your project. Call 833-HARLEY or go to harleyexteriors.com. Schedule your free consultation today. They'll give you an honest assessment and quote. Go to harleyexteriors.com.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With a Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Makita knows that pros never settle, and neither do we. With Makita, you get tools that perform at the highest level on every job without compromise. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly engineered to deliver precision, job after job. When your work calls for the best, call on Makita. Makita, built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit buckys.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
The birth of the American supercar is now open at America's Car Museum. Curated by Steve Saline, it's a high-octane journey through muscle, speed, and rare supercars, plus racing simulators, great food, and family fun. Visit americascarmuseum.org.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's Tim Hunter, former Seattle radio goofball here with 2 words that aren't funny. Prostate cancer. Get your annual checkup. Keep an eye on that PSA number. And if you hear those 2 words like I did, talk to the folks at Swedish Cyberknife. 5 treatments, minimally invasive and technologically advanced over the other options. If you were a friend and I consider you one, I'd highly recommend Swedish Cyberknife. We are so lucky to have them right here in town. Do your research, but definitely visit swedish.org/cyberknife prostate.
At Pacific Power Batteries, you won't find anything with pumpkin spice.
We sell batteries for everything to anyone. No warm, fuzzy mittens, no umbrellas, no potpourri in our nice stores. But when the going gets tough and the lights go out and your stuff won't start, you'll be glad that you came to Pacific Power Batteries. And if you're not sure if your battery is dead, we'll test it for you for free. We will sell no battery for anything before it's time. We're honest people at Pacific Power Batteries, doing batteries since 1985.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
All right, Brock, Seahawks and Titans on Sunday. Not quite the same buildup as what we had last week before the Rams game. And look, they're 1-9. They've not played particularly well. They're just not the same type of team as the Seahawks or the Rams or some of the better teams in football this year. It was funny listening to Leonard Williams when he was asked, what stands out.
I mean, what I see is they have great players, which is, every team in the NFL. Every team in the NFL has first-rounders, Pro Bowlers, All-Pros, and things like that. And I think if you, sleep on any team in the league, they have potential to beat you. So, like I just said, we're focused on us and focused on getting better this week, and we're never going to, overlook a team.
That's a good answer.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
It's true. I mean, the Bills went down to Miami, and Miami was going to fire Mike McDaniel. They were 1-6. They're pathetic. Tua can't throw the ball, and they boat raced them. That does happen in this league if you do not prepare on these Wednesdays and Thursdays. And then, if this group doesn't bring it, that seems to be a thing of the past, thankfully. A relic of the past. Was the defense 10 a.m., sleepy, not really going. That ended with Pete Carroll, and that state ended with Mike McDonald, as they have been elite on the road. But, you better bring it, and you better make life miserable. And I'm not saying you got to do it all in the first quarter and you got to win in the first quarter or else. But if you give a team life and you give an opponent life, that they can have a marquee win. The Mike McCoy can save his NFL future. The Cam Ward can imprint himself and say, see, this is why you took me number one, and you let them hang around. Dangerous things happen.
Don't give them any hope. In terms of injuries, I mean, there wasn't a ton of news yesterday. Zabel and Knight and Horton aren't going to practice. Or at least didn't yesterday. But this was interesting. Riley Mills, remember the 5th-round pick, who could have been a top 3-round pick as a defensive end coming out of Notre Dame. He was hurt. He wasn't going to play for at least half the year, but we're starting to get into that territory where Mike was asked yesterday if there's a chance he could return before the season ends.
He does. I think we're getting within a couple weeks now of him starting to practice. So now he's not one of those guys that would be activated and then be ready to go. He's going to need some football work, but I think we're getting closer.
That's exciting.
Very
what would
exciting.
He bring to this team?
He would bring not necessarily Leonard and Murphy's explosion, but he would be a little more athletic than I think a Bohannon and some of the other Peely, the big fellas
so he
in there.
More inside.
Oh yes, yeah. I mean, he was up and down the line a little bit, but yes, in this scheme, he'd be an inside guy.
Okay, sounds good.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Yeah, we talked through this a couple times today. ESPN and Major League Baseball announcing this big new 3-year deal. So NBC is going to be the home of Sunday Night Baseball. ESPN is It is a little. It's a lot. ESPN.
It's very confusing.
It is
on the surface.
Yeah, you don't need to worry that much about it right now, to be honest. I mean, NBC is taking on baseball. ESPN is going to remain a part of it. Netflix is going to have the Home Run Derby, but it gets a little interesting with some of the local streaming rights. Nothing's really going to change in 2026 and 2027. It's just like additional access on the ESPN.
And what did I see
app.
between those three entities? It is about a $900 million commitment to baseball.
That sounds right. I'm not sure. I don't have that number in front of me. I'm sorry.
I'm pretty confident that that's between Netflix and NBC and ESPN. It's still about. It's less than $1 billion for a media rights deal, which is still a bit perplexing with 162 games and all of the inventory that creates when you think of the numbers.
I know.
That the NFL and the NBA and those guys gross. It's
just a hard national sport, as we've said before. That's just really not the strength of baseball. Is not its national appeal. It's its appeal in these local games, and ESPN is going to get to use some of that, through its app and streaming platform. So I'm sure that's part of the reason this deal gets done the way it does, because ESPN's trying to get more out of the broadcast business and more into the streaming business. So I'm sure that's a big part of it. For Mariners fans, it really shouldn't mean a whole lot right now, to be perfectly honest. Nothing should really change.
Well, now that Buster's in Bozeman, maybe he can make his way to Seattle even more often.
Did you know Buster was in Bozeman?
I had heard that actually some years ago that he had moved to Montana.
I knew I knew he was somewhere in Mountain Time, but I didn't know where it was. Bozeman. Wow.
So, not bad.
Quite the move from Vermont.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
All right, there wasn't really anything else last night. Tonight, you get Thursday Night Football. Is this a good game? Buffalo against a Davis Mills-led Texans team? Maura, is this a good game?
Does Buffalo want to win the AFC East for, the 15th time since Tom Brady retired?
Yeah. Is this a good game?
I don't really look at it as one. No.
Okay, just checking.
What?
I trust you on these things, Maura.
Is it
but
in
the Bills
Houston
are
or is it
sloppy,
in
so they
Buffalo?
could make it more of a game than it should be.
Right. Okay.
You know what it is, Salk? It is a reminder of what Joel Klatt said yesterday, and he's absolutely right. This is not just like win the NFC, right? You don't have it. You may not have Lamar and Mahomes in the AFC playoffs.
Crazy.
Like if there is a time to be alive, kind of like the Mariners in the American League this last year, we talked about quite a bit, right? There's probably some parallels there. Like just get in. Because you don't have that behemoth. You don't have that dominant team. You don't have that. Well, the Chiefs are 15-2, 16-1. Like
love
that doesn't
that
exist.
word. You love the word behemoth.
Do I like behemoth?
Yeah, you love behemoth. That's become a big Brock word.
Was that one of the Garbage Pail Kids?
I don't know, but you're a big behemoth guy. That's everything you need to know.
Can you go back to some of your Garbage Pail Kids? Those were fun.
Large Marge is the only one that stands out in my mind. I know there's more,
They were
but that's
so offensive.
Oh,
They
it's
were so
horrendous. But I think Large Marge. When I think of Garbage Pail Kids, I think the first one I think of is Large Marge. But I know there were many, many more.
Just food all over her.
I mean, just horrendous. I mean, I can't believe that. It's not just that we had those and that they were offensive. It's that we were giving them to 6-year-old kids.
I'll tell you what. I'll do for the audience. We'll let Lyle name the presidents, and I'm going to name.
You think you can name as many Garbage Pail Kids as Lyle can name presidents? I hope the answer is no, but we'll find out next. And then more. We got enough questions. You ready for fantasy?
Oh yeah, we have
All right.
plenty.
Fantasy forecast coming up in 20. Brock and Salk, CL Sports on 710.
Get inside the huddle.
The handoff inside. It's Charbonnet. He's going to go. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Taking you inside the VMAC every week. Thursdays, noon to 2.
Our guys show up to play.
Player interviews.
It's obviously been paying off. Just going to continue to do that.
Previewing this week's matchup.
Let's say they come out and just run the ball down the Niners' throats.
And everything Seahawks.
If anybody had a doubt, don't.
The Huddle. Every Thursday at noon. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
All right, Mike Salk here. As it gets colder and darker and the days get shorter and it gets wetter, it can be really easy to succumb to some of the challenges those real external factors have on your mindset or your health or your weight. Yeah, for me, that one's always a challenge this time of year. But Eastside Weight Loss Clinic can help. They want to help. They've helped me. That's how I lost 35 pounds in just 8 weeks. And that could be you by next year as well. You could be a whole new person. Head through the holidays and feel even better about yourself. You can look forward to watching those pounds melt off, and you can do it a little cheaper because right now they're having their biggest sale of the year, more than $300 off normal pricing. through December 31st. It starts with just a 15-minute phone call. Pretty easy. Schedule that right now at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. That's eastsideweightlossclinic.com. Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
When I asked Scott Lucky if his last name had anything to do with his success in the trucking industry, he laughed and said, well, Mike, I guess you could say I've always been lucky. But when I asked him how he and his family grew Lucky Distribution Services into the company it is today, he didn't talk about luck at all. We work hard, he said. We keep a close eye on the bottom line, and we treat our people the right way. In other words, Scott Lucky makes his own luck, which is precisely why he switched to Pure Talk Business. Last month, I paid the big guys $740 for 12 lines, he told me. This month, I paid Pure Talk $420 for the exact same service. Thousands of businesses all over the country are saving real money by switching to America's most dependable 5G network, and luck has nothing to do with it. Just dial pound 250 and say micro. That's pound 250 micro to switch to a wireless company that works as hard as you do. Pure Talk.
Sounds like your sleigh's about to get prepped for the season. And at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we don't just change your oil. We also check your tire pressure, battery, wipers, and lights. All in about 15 minutes. Just stop in at one of our 2,000 locations, stay cozy in your car, and let our trained pros handle the rest. Oop, sounds like your sleigh's ready to roll. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Oil changes in about 15 minutes. No appointment needed.
Too many breakup songs getting you down? Put a little bossa nova in the playlist. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway near SeaTac. Get a good-to-go pass to save $2 every time you use it, and on other toll roads in Washington.
Dave Chappelle, live at Climate Pledge Arena December 9th, one night only. The comedy legend returns to Seattle. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't wait. Dave Chappelle, Climate Pledge Arena December 9th. Get your seats today.
A 15-year-old girl who chewed through a rope to escape a serial killer.
I used my front teeth to saw on the rope in my mouth.
The killer prowled the Pacific Northwest in the early 70s. He's been convicted of murdering 2 young women, but suspected of many more.
Maybe there's another one in that area.
Follow and binge all episodes of Stolen Voices of Dole Valley, available now wherever you listen.
Get rid of stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin with ProSculpt, the simple one-day permanent fat reduction and skin tightening treatment. Book your free consultation at prosculpt.com.
Temperatures are dropping, but you don't have to settle for a chilly home this winter. Keep cozy and safe with energy-saving products during Washington Energy's home heating sale on now. Upgrading your home is as easy as $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 off. Take $1,000 off furnaces, fireplaces, and water heaters, $2,000 off high-efficiency heat pump systems, and $3,000 off whole home generators and ductless mini splits, plus free financing. Washington Energy Services, your expert resource for affordable home comfort. Call for a free estimate.
Your new home is now ready. D.R. Horton, America's builder, has new homes that are ready today. With new construction communities throughout the Puget Sound and Central Washington areas and more coming, D.R. Horton has the right home for you. At D.R. Horton, we're still building with more construction, more communities, and more homes available every day. Find your new home, now ready at drhorton.com. That's drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
People want to do business with someone they can trust, who's a real person. They don't feel like you're just going after their money. And when you take the time to get to know them, get to know their needs, remember their name, remember their kids' names, and just be there to help them and sort of, not be a car salesman, but be a consultant, then they feel more comfortable with you, and the experience is better on both sides. Each individual person has an opportunity to sort of unveil our company spirit and their own individual personality and their ability to serve. I myself, I have helped some families in the sense that, I've helped mom, helped dad, and then 2 years later, here's our daughter, she needs a car now. And it's one of the biggest compliments to know that you've earned this family's trust, that now you're their guy. You want to be their guy.
The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
This is another band that I saw in concert over the last couple of years. Kind of like Khruangbin last night. This is Daystar, Daistar. They're awesome, man. Another really, really good band. Both from Texas. Daystar, I think, is from Austin. Khruangbin from Houston. So there you go. A little info for you this morning, Brock. I've got a little chart that I asked the Lyle and Mora questions about at 6 that I will quiz you on in just a couple of minutes. I want to play some Buster Olney sound. Mora's got the fantasy forecast. But we did set this up earlier, and I feel bad that we haven't had time to go back to it. The question was, can Lyle name more than 15 U.S. presidents throughout the history of our country? I took the over. You and Mora took the under. Yeah. Lyle wrote them out. Lyle, how many did you get? Let's hear them.
27.
27 out of 47 presidents.
That's not bad.
More than half. You would know that if you knew math. So let's hear which of the 27 presidents did Lyle know?
Washington.
Okay. Do you have first names on these?
George
Okay.
Washington, yeah.
All right.
John Adams, Thomas Jefferson,
Okay.
John Quincy Adams.
Nice.
Andrew Jackson.
Yeah.
There's going to be some odd ones on here that you guys would not expect. Here's one. Millard Fillmore.
Sure. Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Dwight Eisenhower. So we're 10.
Yeah.
William Howard Taft.
Sure.
Grover Cleveland. Warren Harding. Richard Nixon. Chester Arthur. Calvin Coolidge. Herbert Hoover. Ronald Reagan. Lyndon Johnson. FDR. Franklin Roosevelt.
Yep.
George H.W. Bush. Bill Clinton. George W. Bush. Obama. Biden. And then, well, the current one.
So just out of curiosity, you went FDR, Franklin Roosevelt, but didn't get Teddy?
He did.
You said Teddy. Okay, I'm sorry. I missed that. All right, I'm sorry. I
How
thought you only got
exactly
one.
did you get Warren Harding?
Warren G?
Yeah, how exactly did that
I don't know.
come into
Wasn't
the
he
mind?
involved in some scandal, too? I remember hearing that somewhere once.
Teapot Dome, maybe? He might be Teapot Dome scandal. I kind of
Was he?
forgot. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a pretty
I
good
wouldn't-
list. Did you
that
get
is a good
you didn't
list.
get Madison or Monroe though? That was a surprise.
Oh,
A couple of big ones.
No.
James
I mean,
Madison,
they were
James
pretty
Monroe.
early.
And their doctrine, James Monroe doctrine.
Right.
Okay, that's pretty good though, don't you think?
Really well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job,
To
Lyle.
Lyle's thing, History.com says, hush money to mistresses, secret payments for an out-of-wedlock child, and far-reaching corruption tainted Warren G. Harding.
Did you get Andrew Johnson on there?
Whoa, Harding.
I don't think you got Andrew Johnson.
Well, I said Jackson.
Well, they're two different people.
Yeah, so no.
They have different names. Andrew Jackson, you got.
Did you get Ulysses S. Grant?
Oh, no.
But you've heard of Ulysses S.
I'm
Grant,
impressed,
right?
Lyle.
Yeah, that's a good job,
Like
Lyle.
the name
Yeah.
somewhere. Yeah.
Any idea roughly what he's famous for?
No.
None.
No,
Zero.
So now you're moving the goalposts.
I just was curious. I mean, he's like the general
Hey,
of the Civil War.
let's
I wasn't
celebrate.
sure if you could-
Let's celebrate Lyle.
All right.
Okay, been a big week
All
for
right.
him.
It has been a big week.
He's
for Lyle.
deserving of applause. He
It's true.
nailed
Nice
27
job,
to
Lyle.
47.
27.
Good job, Lyle.
Nice job. Applause.
Way to
There
go.
you go. All right, Brock, I asked Lyle Moore this little quiz earlier since I know you
Okay.
love the Pro Football Focus. I
Yep.
thought I would. Have you seen this from Pro Football Focus? The
No,
NFL
but there was
lockdown
Large
report?
Marge. There was Adam Baum. There was some really gnarly, nasty garbage
Nasty
pail
Nick,
kids.
yes.
Yeah.
All right, NFL lockdown report.
Okay.
Best defenders at preventing separation in coverage.
Oh, okay.
All right. I've got like the top 50 here, but let me see how you get. This is not just corners, although many of them are corners.
Okay.
Who is number one in the league at locking you down? And he's a great corner. It shouldn't be a surprise.
I mean, Surtain, is he up there?
He's
Surtain's
not.
up there. The New England guy is going to be up there.
Carlton Davis? Is that who you mean from New England? He's the
No,
highest New
no, no,
England
no.
player on here.
He's higher than their first round pick
Christian
from Oregon.
Gonzalez.
Yeah, he's higher than Christian Gonzalez.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Wowzers.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
I know. Well, again, you got to take it for what it is. It's Pro Football Focus.
Yeah,
number
this
one was traded this year. He's one of the best corners in the game.
This is a little hard
Sauce Gardner.
because is that man or zone? Like this is one of
Here's
the
what it
real
says.
challenges with this.
I'll read what it says, Brock.
Okay.
I'll tell you what it says.
Mm-hmm.
This was started last year, lockdown percentage, which identifies NFL's best defenders at preventing separation in coverage. What is lockdown percentage? The metric focuses on coverage, measuring how well a defender prevents a receiver from getting open. It excludes plays where the defender intentionally gives up space to protect the first down marker or limit yards after the catch.
Yeah, but again, like you could be playing quarters press. You could be playing
I get
two-man. You could be a man team. Man teams are going to be a lot better at that. I mean, it's just
it's not perfect, and that's why we always say that about Pro Football Focus. But I still think it's interesting. I think you'll find out in a moment why I think this is interesting.
It was like the stat Lyle sent last night of some like best play callers.
Right.
Okay, how
do you know that?
Can you? Oh, he's a 1.8. He's like from what?
All right. Well, you don't even know what names I'm going to put out here yet. So stop killing the bits.
I bet you Reek is pretty high on
number
this
two.
List. Correct.
Number two.
Bet you.
So this list goes Sauce Gardner number 1. I mean that makes sense, right?
Yep.
Reek number 2.
Yep.
Interestingly, Kyle Hamilton number 3, which I guess makes sense because he's probably not asked. Although he's actually had more coverage snaps than Sauce Gardner, but fewer lockdown opportunities. Right. So like this says Sauce has had 99, Reek has had 100 over the course of the season. So I think they're trying to separate out when you're in man. Okay. Kyle Hamilton's only had 52, but he's been successful 62% of the time.
Gotcha.
Number 4.
Going to be covering tight ends a lot more than he is.
Absolutely. And this is not to say one player is better than the other. It's just their percentage.
It kind of just gives you, I see what you're doing. Yeah. It gives you some scope and some spectrum.
Number 4 is Josh Jobe.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
So the Seahawks have number 2 and number 4 in all the NFL?
And Spoon is number 21.
Wow.
Now, I don't know how much of that is how long they've got to lock them down, and does your edge rusher matter and factor into this? Does the 3rd and 3 versus 3rd and 10? Like I think that's hard to determine.
Yep.
So I'm not taking this as like a sign that the Seahawks
have the
best
fact that you have
duo
3 of the top 21
right
in this metric,
pretty good.
If the metric is flawed, it's flawed for all 50 of them or whatever it is, but you've got 3 of the top 21. That's
interesting,
pretty
right?
Legit.
Yeah.
That's pretty legit.
It really jumped out to me, and especially because Reek's had his ups and downs. Kudos to him, and I think to Mike McDonald for getting him going back on the right path. I think we've all really been impressed with Josh Jobe over the last 2 years as he's a self-made guy who's turned himself into a really good receiver. So cool for both of them. And then Devin Witherspoon at number 21. All right.
Yep.
Last thing I wanted to get to here before the fantasy forecast in about 7 minutes. Buster had a lot to say. Moore already made a ton of cuts from it. Buster Olney was great this morning, talking about how great the Naylor deal was, talking about kind of where the Mariners are at now. I asked if he had a sense for what it looks like for Polanco and Suarez.
Jorge probably is going to be someone who, for some teams, depending on how the early winter plays, he might be, their number 2 or number 3 or number 4 item on the board. He might have to wait a little longer for his market to play out unless the Mariners do what they did with Naylor and say, look, we really value the player. We value the character of the guy. Just haven't been around the Mariners for a lot of their postseason. He is a perfect fit with this team. And maybe there's a price at which where Polanco says you can take it down and you can get this done. With Suarez, I think there are more options at third base. He's competing against guys like Alex Bregman. And given the age, I think that's going to play out a little bit longer.
So both Divish and Adam Jude this week, coming off of the GM meetings. I don't think it's a coincidence, coming off all the conversations I'm sure they've had with their contacts with the Mariners. Jude puts out an article just this morning. I don't know if you saw it yet, but they're going to give, according to Jude, Colt Emerson the opportunity they gave Julio in 2022. And that is, hey, man, we're going to give you every opportunity in spring training with the big league club to go win the third base job.
I mean, not a surprise.
Third base job.
Given that he was on the taxi squad for the postseason. Correct. That was a nice honor for him, but it wasn't a joke. I mean, I can tell you they did not want him to play, but I know there was at least a semi-joking conversation about it that I'm not sure everyone was joking about, if that makes sense.
So between Williamson and Emerson, I think it makes the Geno thing really difficult. Unless he is just on the market and there's not really other places, and maybe he's your DH, or you lose Jorge.
Or if you lose Jorge, it becomes maybe more intriguing. We were talking about numbers for Jorge yesterday, and I did notice, since Shannon said she liked the MLB trade rumor numbers for
comparison's sake.
She liked them for arbitration numbers. So I don't know whether she would also like them for free agent guesses, but their guess on Jorge was actually almost exactly what I said yesterday, 342. 3 years, $42 million.
14 per.
14 a year for 3 years. And I'm sorry, I'm not doing the eBay buy it now price of 3 years, $14 million for Jorge Polanco. I can't do it. That would be really hard for me, and I would like him back. I wrote about it this week. I think he's a good player. I think that's too much to commit. It's not about the money. It's just about the commitment given the injury history. And you heard Buster say, like, hey, Texas is having issues with the two guys they spent a lot of money on. And you kind of go through where all of those deals get you. I really don't want to be in a situation where we're ruining the day. The Mariners decided to go too far on Jorge Polanco.
What is a baseball player's prime age in today's game?
27 to 31.
It's moved. What do you think in today's? I think that was 10 years ago. I think I agree with you. It sure feels like
25 to 30.
Yes, it feels like that number has kind of shifted a little
for
bit.
Hitters, though, especially power hitters, it can go a little later than that. I think
it can.
But yeah, 25 to 30, and he's already 31. You're talking about ages. What did we say? 32, 33, 34.
In the 2 years you had him, the first year was pretty catastrophically deal, and last year, I don't know. Memory serves me right. They didn't talk about it much. But wasn't there a long time where he could only hit on one side of the plate? And then it just felt like they were kind of nursing and making sure.
That's how I feel, Brock. But I understand that he did a lot of great things for them, and he fits them very well.
Well, Shannon said, you find me an 800-plus OPS switch hitter veteran guy that's bat to ball.
And I don't have one. And who can play second and can play first and can play D. Like, I don't have one.
Yep.
But 3 years, $42 million feels like a lot of money.
Would you take the 3 for 42 and give it to Devin Williams instead?
Well, how old is Devin Williams?
Young. I can look up his exact age.
I don't know.
I mean, the nice thing there is
you
offset that because Mooney's making $8 million a year for the next couple. So you take your 8th inning guy and your 9th inning guy, and the two of them combined are making X. You feel pretty palatable with that.
Sorry, a little older than I thought, but 31.
I don't know at 31. I don't know, Jim. I don't know. I need more time to think about that one. He also talked, obviously, about Tarek Skubal. That's why we had him on to begin with and asked kind of what they'd be looking for.
Jim Bowden works with the Athletics, suggested today Bryce Miller in the center of a deal. I tend to doubt that because of the injury history. I think the Tigers are going to want a healthy, young, major league ready pitcher. I think the Mets match up really well in that regard. Obviously, if you're the Tigers and you're asking for the sun and the moon, you're starting with Brian Wu. The Mariners say no, and then you move on to potentially other names. But the Mets, certainly with Nolan McLean and Jonah Tong and some of their other young guys who've already pitched in the big leagues, they could be positioned. But, I mean, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. If the Tigers have guys that they really like in the Seattle farm system, they can identify those, and then it's up to the Mariners to say yes or no.
Would you start a deal for Tarek Skubal with Bryce Miller?
I got to know what we have in Cade Anderson a little bit. I got to know what you think of that lefty.
You got to I think the answer to that question is yes.
And
let me just come back. I think the answer to that question is yes.
To the Tigers?
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. The answer to that question is yes. You want to win a World Series? Yes. The answer to that question is yes. Yeah, Brock, you have Cade Anderson, you got Ryan Sloan, you got Jurangelo St. Maybe you'd have to give one of those guys up in this kind of a deal. I don't know what that looks like. But yeah, the answer is yes. I'm willing to start that conversation. I don't know what that looks like and how you got to balance it all out. But the answer to that question is yes. I'm absolutely having that conversation. Of course Miller's on the table. Doesn't mean I'm just saying yes, but is it? Of course it's on the table.
Yeah, you're having the conversation.
I'm having that conversation. Absolutely. 100% yes, I'm having that conversation. And seeing where it goes and seeing how we balance it out. Yeah, I really do hope Brock, you've kind of convinced me on this one. I do hope the Mariners are interested. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what you have to give up. And maybe Justin Hollander will come on the show and be like, are you kidding me? I'm not going to give up Bryce Miller for 1 year. No way. But you want to be serious. You heard what Buster said. You add Tarek Skubal to this roster, and they are a
you already have top 5 odds.
Playoff,
yep.
if not
you have
Super
top
Bowl
5 odds
favorite.
Right now for the World Series. Right now. This roster right now.
Yeah.
You add Tarek Skubal, you're probably coming with the Dodgers, and right there, your odds.
More to come. More to come. And right now, Maura will do the fantasy forecast.
Fantasy football forecast with Maura Dooley.
That has a little Garbage Pail Kids kind of ring to it, doesn't it?
Yes.
Why are
Messy
you obsessed
Jesse.
with the Garbage Pail Kids today?
I have no idea. More, that's what happens when you get to nearly 50. Things get in your head, and they don't depart. Bozo Brent with his Garbage Pail Kids fantasy forecast football. All right, sorry.
All right.
Here we go.
All right, the 309 says, should I keep Zach Charbonnet at running back or move up Kareem Hunt from my bench? I'm going to stick with Charbonnet this week. I know he's been kept out of the end zone in 2 of the last 3 games, and they are talking about Walker earning more opportunities, but they do look to Charbonnet in the red zone, and the Titans have given up the 2nd most rushing touchdowns to running backs this season. Plus, this game could get out of hand, and I would assume they would lean more heavily on Charbonnet in that situation because of Walker's injury history.
Where is Kareem Hunt now?
The Chiefs.
Okay, he's back with the Chiefs. Okay. They're kind of do or die mode, 5-5 to make the playoffs. Kind of wild, right? Andy Reid, how much longer does he got? Has this team just gotten old? Oof. Man, the NFL moves fast.
It really does.
Yep.
Well, I think you can thank the NFL for putting unbiased refs on their games. That's why they're losing games now.
Thanks, Mr. Chris.
It's really Taylor Swift's fault for saying no. Nobody says no to us. We're like the mob.
It's always Taylor's fault. Just blame Taylor.
Also, Kareem Hunt's had like a little bit of a bump lately with Pacheco out hurt, but they are playing the Colts, who have a pretty good defense. So
yes,
I just like the matchup better for Charbonnet as well. We'll see moving forward if we still feel that way next week, because I do think that it sounds like they're hoping to commit to giving Walker a few more carries here. But I still think they'll look for Charbonnet in the red zone, and yeah, like I said, this game could get out of hand, and I think we'll see more of him at that point.
Hope so.
All right, let's see. I have 360 says Cardinals wide receiver Michael Wilson or Saints wide receiver Chris Olave. I'm going to go with Olave on this one. Michael Wilson had a breakout game last week with Marvin Harrison Jr. out, and then Harrison is going to miss this week too. He had appendix surgery. So Wilson should see a solid target share again, but he'll face a Jaguars team that just managed to manhandle the Chargers, and Keenan Allen was their leading receiver at 53 yards. Olave's been pretty consistent all year, and he had even more of a bump in production with Tyler Shook coming in just before their bye. He had 5 catches for 104 yards and a touchdown. They're facing a Falcons team that has allowed a receiver to reach at least 99 yards in their last 4 games.
Speaking of those Falcons, Penix ACL again.
Is it really?
Yep.
Oh, that stinks.
6 of 8 years.
That stinks.
And the only 2 that he stayed healthy and finished the season were here.
Yeah, that stinks, man. I think that really stinks. That's a real bummer.
I think everyone likes him. And
Yep.
Wanted to see him succeed in the NFL.
That's a bummer.
That body.
He makes so many NFL throws, man. It's really, really a bummer.
Yep.
And we were talking about Tyler Shook. I actually was going to lean on Brock on this one. The 425 wants opinions on Tyler Shook in Dynasty. So that would mean, what do you think of him in the long term? And I don't know the answer to that one.
Yeah, that is way.
Have you seen much of him this season?
Tyler Shook. He is 31. He played 7 years of college football.
31.
Yes.
Is
So
somebody
you're not
really
confident about
asking
his
if they
future?
should stash Tyler Shook? The New Orleans Saints aren't even asking that.
So they have to start 2 quarterbacks in this league. They have CJ.
Are you
Stroud.
sure that's only 2? They don't have to start 15?
They have CJ Stroud and Michael Penix, so they're in a little bit of a bind already. So
they need to draft quarterbacks next year.
They're saying they could trade DJ Moore for Tyler Shook to have him for the future.
If you are looking to trade for Tyler Shook, you need to quit your fantasy
This is
league.
why I don't play 2 quarterback leagues. I did it one year and got in a bind like this, and I think it's the worst.
You should not only quit your fantasy league, you should maybe stop watching sports. This is not for you.
You know what's incredible, and Lyle and I were chatting about this off the air. Well, you know what's incredible about college football this year in particular? I've never seen a year like this. But going into the season, Drew Aller, Penn State, Lenora Sellers, South Carolina, Arch Manning, Texas, Garrett Nussmeier, LSU, Lyle's guy down at ASU was a positive. Levitt, all of them. Like, not even in first-round conversations.
Yeah.
Like, every single one of them. Just Cade Klubnik at Clemson. Seriously, those 5 or 6 guys, if you looked at mock drafts, oh, yeah, all first-round grades. Not one of them to be found. And your buddy's Matt Miller's first-round mock draft came out yesterday. Not one.
Yeah, what did you think of the guy that he had for the Seahawks? Did you know that guy?
No, didn't know.
I like the idea of a corner, though. So he had, just to let you, Matt Miller, who we love, friend of the show, he did his early NFL mock draft. So he had the Seahawks drafting 27, which, is neither here nor there. But he had them taking Brandon Cisse, C-I-S-S-E, cornerback from South Carolina. I kind of liked what he said about it, though. Sometimes a prospect skill set fits so perfectly with an NFL team that the match seems inevitable. How about that?
You know what great teams have, Salk?
What?
Tendencies. And you know what great teams you can identify? That's a Raven, that's a Seahawk. That's a good deal. That it's growing in that kind of way. Okay,
I'll
sorry,
keep
Mark.
my eye on
Continue.
27 is a pretty good
I know
place
you
to
hate
draft
fantasy
a corner.
football, but we're talking about who they're going to draft next year instead.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's,
All
fair,
right.
that's a fair point.
The 509 says,
That's a good point you've made.
Jamar Chase is killing me this weekend. TJ Hawkinson or Iasevis from the Bengals, wide receiver for the Bengals. I can't roll with TJ Hawkinson. He has only 3 catches. He had 3 catches last week, only 2 catches in each of their 3 games before that. JJ McCarthy is struggling, and I don't see him doing much better against the Packers defense this weekend. Iasevis for the Bengals has been a bit up and down lately, but he should see more work because Jamar Chase is suspended for spitting on Jalen Ramsey last weekend.
Yeah, don't spit.
I would say start him even if it's Flacco, but Joe Burrow did practice yesterday. So we will see how he progresses the rest of the week, if he is able to force his way back into the starting lineup or not. They're playing the Patriots, who have a good defense, but they're giving up an average of 31 fantasy points a game to wide receivers. They've allowed 14 touchdowns to that position. So.
I'm still focused on being in a dynasty league with Tyler Shubb.
This is why one year I played
Can't get over that.
I played in 2 quarterback league the year that Matt Schaub forgot how to play football. Like, he'd had 2 4,000-yard seasons before that, and then he forgot in the middle of the season how to play football. And I had Tom Brady, and it was like an off year for him. And I think I was like picking up Christian Ponder, and I was like, I'm never gonna do this again. No more 2 quarterback leagues.
Matt Schaub, how do you say he was too ugly to be a quarterback? There's a lot of
All right,
conversation there.
one last one here that I want to crowdsource. They want to know between AJ Barner or Dallas Goedert. The Eagles are playing the Cowboys, who, even though their defense has looked good lately, they still give up a lot through the air. I would want to tend to stick with Goddard, even though he's had a couple of down games, because he's more of a part of that offense consistently. But Barner did have a big game last week with Torrey Horton banged up. Maybe he sees more targets.
Maybe in a PPR league, right?
They have an easier opponent, I guess, but in a PPR. Shut up.
I was being serious because he gets more catches, points per reception, right?
Yes, good job.
Dude, I listened to what you say. He had a bunch of receptions, not for a lot of yards or touchdowns.
But do you think Barner can see as much of a target share this week as he did last week?
PPR?
No, I hope not. I didn't like that. I don't want him to see that. I don't want.
360 says, how big of a loser are you if you're looking at mock drafts right now? All right.
Seriously.
I thought you guys would be proud of me for looking at a mock draft. That's kind of outside my comfort zone. I was like, ooh, let's see who's out there.
Salk, I think I got a game for you tomorrow.
Oh, yeah?
It's been percolating in this big 5 head of mine.
All right, I'm excited.
I got a little game.
A little Friday game. G's going to come in. G's super mad about my Thanksgiving menu and wants to get mad at me about it.
Chop liver.
Chop liver. That's not on the menu. That's like an appetizer. It's a little different.
He always says you don't season your food.
What does he know? He came to my house and loved the meal, so he's full of it. I don't believe anything that guy says. We'll be back tomorrow morning, though, at 6 a.m. with a whole lot more. We'll see where your phone calls go. Bump and Stacy up next. They got the huddle. I think they got Reek on the show today, too. He's awesome, so great interview. Brock, the hay.
Barn.
See everybody.
Get to the chopper!
He came to Seattle at the trade deadline.
Pitch to Naylor, swung on, drilled, gap right center field.
Getting traded here was a blessing.
And instantly made himself a fan favorite.
For the ride or die fans, embraced me right away.
A bases clearing, 3-run double by Josh Naylor.
5 more years of Josh Naylor as a Mariner was about as simple a decision as we could make.
I want to continue to give this city the best thing I can.
Live it up, Mariners fans.
That World Series that we're shooting for here.
With the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
The birth of the American supercar is now open at America's Car Museum. Curated by Steve Saleen, it's a high-octane journey through muscle, speed, and rare supercars, plus racing simulators, great food, and family fun. Visit americascarmuseum.org.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit buckys.com.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. Are they a reliable service? How will I know if something happens? Are they keeping everyone safe? At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today to talk to a local security expert.
The best time of the year is here, Toyotathon. Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton are providing you with the largest savings and the widest selection of inventory on Toyota favorites like Tacomas and Tundras, the Gas RAV4, the Hybrid RAV4, and the Hybrid Camry. It's Toyotathon at TOK and TOR. That's ToyotaofKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com. Whether you're in the north or the south, they got you covered. Get a test drive, meet the wonderful staff, get a new car. It's Toyotathon, people. Come on.
O'Brien. Hey, it's Kirk Herbstreit. On game day, great prep makes all the difference. Same goes for your pizza. That's why I go with Frigidaire's Stone-Baked Pizza Oven. Fresh pizzas go from dough to done in just 2 minutes.
Whether you're throwing a party or squeezing in dinner between plays, this oven delivers hot, crispy, restaurant-quality pizza right from your kitchen. Only from Frigidaire. Game-ready pizza. Get it today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
On the golf tee, it's Skechers World Champions Cup. Watch it live December 4th and 5th on ESPN and ESPN Plus, 12 to 4 p.m. It's PGA Champions Tour golfers from all over the world. Team USA versus Team Europe versus Team International. Watch it live December 4th and 5th on ESPN and ESPN Plus, 12 to 4 p.m. The competition will be tense, but feet will be comfy. Tune in to Skechers World Champions Cup. Final round of golf on Sunday, December 7th on ABC, 1 to 5 p.m.
Imagine all that could happen in 5 years. Jobs may change, kids will grow, new memes will come out, but also, what if you had reliable, intelligent Wi-Fi and the price didn't change for 5 years? Well, thanks to the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee, you actually don't have to